Hey, everybody. Hope everybody is doing good. And I hope, let me see, I want to make sure you guys can see and hear me okay and stuff. It is snowing in Virginia. I think it stopped snowing recently now, but we had some quite bit of snow. So it's been really, really, really pretty out here. And I have been enjoying it very, very much and stuff. So hope everybody is doing good. I first of all, I do want to say sorry about last Friday. You guys know that I don't like to miss these Friday nights with you guys. Unfortunately, I got COVID and my energy level was like it was really, really, really bad. So to be honest, I if I would have tried to have like spent Friday night with you guys probably would have been like, what is up with her? She is not as upbeat as she usually is. I just would have been like, oh, yeah. Here's the information and stuff. So it just was not going to happen. Okay. My energy level was just not up to par. Okay. So I eventually, unfortunately, I had to take that break and stuff. So let me see. I want to make sure. Okay. Now, I do not see anybody in the chat saying anything about that they can't see me or hear me. So I think everybody, I think I'm good to go. Okay. Let's see. Tonight's going to be a really rough topic. Okay. So for those of you guys that are really new to embroidery, you, I don't want to say don't watch. What I'm going to say is those folks that have known me and have watched me for quite some time, you guys know that I really do not like to butter anything up. Okay. I am off the cup, straight up honest. If you need somebody to tell you what you want to hear, really, I'm not the person for you because I just tell it like it is. Okay. So I am really going to be hitting about the risky part of embroidery and running an embroidery business. And I mean real risk. Okay. Because I took a huge risk that cost me a lot. So, but I'm going to share that with you guys now. So to prepare myself mentally for all the stuff that I got to share with you guys about what happened to me, I got me a straight up Puerto Rican drink. Okay, I got my rum and coke right here. Okay, with my Puerto Rican Bacardi and Coca Cola because this is gonna be rough for me to share. Okay, but the thing is, it's got to be said. I got to share it because, it not only was it a beneficial, a very good lesson for myself to learn, even was very like stupid expensive. It can be a lesson that can really help any of you guys as well. Okay, so you know, first of all, you know, we know right off the cup that running an embroidery business is not cheap at all. Okay. You got a lot of costs that are associated with running an embroidery business right up front off the bat. Okay. These machines that you see back here, whether you have a single needle, whether you have a multi needle, not cheap machines. Okay. You are talking in the thousands. All right. The equipment that you need to run these machines, not cheap either. Okay, so you guys always hear me say it. This is not something for someone that is really light in the pocketbook. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't do it, but what I'm saying is it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, um and yeah, it's some serious stuff. Okay, especially when you really start to really get into it. Okay, so I want to talk about two things that are like so risky that is going to cost you high dollar. Now, this first one that I'm going to mention to you is not something that personally happened to me. It happened to another embroiderer that I know. And then I'm going to get into my $2,000 uh hiccup, okay, which I know you guys, I really hope you guys have your drinks going on or whatever, but I'm telling you, when I start talking about my situation, you're going to get a knot in your stomach because that's exactly how I felt. But anyway, But let me talk to you about the first one, because I think this is just as equally as important, because it's a lesson that a girlfriend of mine learned, that she also runs an embroidery business as well. But it hit her in her stomach that not only did it like it just ugh, it was something that I was like, oh shoot, I gotta make sure I never freaking do that. Okay. Now, as you guys know, like I was saying before, you got to buy these embroidery machines, and you also have to buy a lot of supplies to run these machines. Sometimes what happens is you buy third-party products so that you can run these machines more, not really run the machines, but to do the process, the embroidery process, a little bit smoother, right? Now, a lot of us have heard of Mighty Hoops, okay? Fantastic products and stuff. And, but they are third party products. So that's just an example, okay? Now, this did not happen with Mighty Hoops. So I'm going to put that out there, okay? I haven't, but it's something that can, all right? The thing is, third-party products are not products that, they work with your embroidery machine. But the thing is, you have to be really careful on how you use them. You got to make sure that you have a thorough understanding. And I'm going to use Mighty Hoops for an example, okay? The Mighty Hoops are hoops that, they do fit your embroidery machine, but and they tell you what size it is, all right? But when you use them and you're trying to embroider, you always have to make sure that you trace. The reason why you want to make sure that you trace all your designs is because when you start embroidering, the last thing you want is for that needle to hit the side of that Mighty Hoop. You're talking about very heavy plastic, with a lot of, with magnets and stuff like that. You can really mess up your machine if you don't use those items properly. Now, a girlfriend of mine, what happened with her was that she had purchased a hat hoop, and the hat hoop, for some reason, didn't, I guess it didn't go into the machine correctly, or maybe she just bought it, she was trying to use it and stuff like that. Anyway, the end of the story is that she misaligned the machine. And when she misaligned the machine, she had a very, very difficult time trying to get it fixed. It got to the point where she was like, oh, shoot, how the heck do you fix this? How do you get this machine to align correctly? And she struggled and everything. And she ended up having to take it to a service center and had to pay some big bucks to get that recalibrated and everything, to get the machine working again. When I saw that she went through that, there was a couple of things that went through my mind. First of all, she only had one machine, right? So I was kind of like, okay, if you are running a business and you only got one machine, and that machine gets screwed up in some kind of way, guess what? You're out of business until that machine gets fixed. Okay. That was the first thing that went to my mind. Okay. I was like, oh, wow. And she had orders. Okay. This girl had orders she had to get done. Okay. So I was like, that's not good. I was thinking to myself, how fast can you get that machine now fixed so that you can work on your other orders? So the thing is, she had to talk to her customers, redo her whole order and everything, like reschedule the orders and everything. Some of the customers got pissed off and they were like, well, forget it, I don't want it anymore. And then some were understanding, and they were kind of like, well, when are you going to get the machine fixed? Because they do need their products, right? Because you're calling them and you're saying, hey, my machine is broken. But the thing is, you haven't even gotten the machine in there. So you don't, and there's a lot of ifs, right? A lot of uncertainty. First of all, you got to get the appointment to get the machine in. Then once you get the machine in, then you have to see what the mechanic actually tells you, right? Are they going to be able to fix it at the spot, or are they going to have to order something, a piece or something like that? And then do you have to wait for that piece to come in? And then for them to fix it, and then that's going to cost you a whole boatload of money. And then you got to take the machine, you got to bring it back home. It's a whole freaking shebang, right? So that wasn't a very good thing that I saw my girlfriend go through. And when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, oh, shoot, that's not good, right? But I'll tell you what, when I saw her go through that, I was thinking to myself, okay, note to Jeanette, okay, when you get a new hat hoop, or you get a new product, or whatever the heck it is, whatever third party product I use, and I go and I try to use it on that machine, I better make sure, number one, I have all my orders already done, okay? And number two, I better go slow, and I better know what I'm doing, and I better not force anything on that machine. If I got to force it on my machine, I shouldn't be using it, okay? And number three, the thing that went through my mind was, oh my goodness, thank God I have 3 multi-needle machines. So if one goes down, I can still function on the other 2. I wasn't in like her shoes where that was it. That was her machine. It was that multi-needle machine and then a single needle machine, which I know to how to be in that, because I was there. I was there when I first started. Okay. I started with a single needle. Then from the single, I went to a 6. Then I added my 10, and now I got another 10. So, I was just like, whoa, oh my God. Okay. So anyway, that is the one thing I wanted to share with you. Now, let me tell you about what happened to me. And let me get a snug, okay? Mm, 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 mm. And I should bring some tissues because I think I might cry. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. The risk of running an embroidery business. I mean, talk about a risk. This was, now, and I'm gonna say this right up front, okay? Because I don't want anybody to think any kind of way, okay? This has nothing to do with the customer, okay? Nothing to do with that. This has to do purely with my error, my mistake, okay? Me, Jeanette, I made the mistake. It has nothing to do with the customer or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you what I did, because you guys, I really want you guys to understand this. I want you to focus and think about it, because when you are running your embroidery business, you want to take this into consideration. I really didn't, okay? I honestly believe that this was something where my head may have gotten a little bit too big, okay? I got a little too overconfident, and I screwed up. So let's start from the beginning. I got a small business owner came and reached out to me and said, hey, I have backpacks that need to be embroidered, right? And I wanted embroidered with my company logo. Now, I have embroidered lots of backpacks in the past, okay? I've done a handful, like maybe 3 or 4. I've done about, 1 or 2 here, right? Where people wanted their initials on it and stuff. I even took a designer backpack that was $500 for that backpack. That's how much that backpack cost. And I did a monogram on it. Okay. So I'm a risk taker. Okay. I am a risk taker. And, in the beginning, when I first started embroidering, I was very nervous about embroidering on certain products from customers, because I was like, no, 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 I only want to embroider on stuff that I purchase, because if it messes up, then I replace it. Right. Well, it got to the point where, as you start to embroider more and more, and you get more gutsy and all that kind of stuff, you start realizing that there is a market out there where people do own items that they do want embroidered. And, as time went on, I decided, okay, I'm going to start taking on that risk, and I'm going to embroider for people. And what I usually do, and you guys that have watched me for a long time know that I've always said, okay, I always ask the customer, where did you get the item from? Right? Because if I mess it up, I'll replace it. Right? So I'm like, okay. So the company said, I have these backpacks, $250 a backpack. Okay. That's how much they were. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, I've done backpacks before. How hard can it be? I mean, it's not a big deal, right? And what if I mess up one or two? So I mean, and they were nice backpacks. Okay, I mean, these backpacks were really nice. I will admit, I wouldn't have minded messing up one, so I can keep it for me. Okay, because they were nice. And so I was like, not a problem. So they were like, we have 50 backpacks. And I'm like, okay, 50 backpacks, no problem. I said, bring them on, you know? So they sent me the logo. I worked with my digitizer, Fossil, and we worked on the logo together. I test stitched it out. The customer, the owner with his business partner came over. They looked at the stitch out. They loved it. They liked it. At first, when they brought over the sample backpack for me to take a look at it, I was thinking to myself, this might be a little tricky to hoop, right? But then I was thinking, well, maybe what I should do is just do a patch, and then I could sew the patch onto the pocket in the front, right? So, when I gave them the idea of doing the patch, the owners were okay with it. They were like, "Oh, you can do that." I mean, they would have been perfectly happy with it. So what I did was I took my mighty hoop, which was the 5.5 by 5.5 mighty hoop, and I put it in the front pocket of the backpack, and I was actually able to snap it shut. So then I was like thinking to myself, maybe I can embroider the logo right on the backpack, right? Let me see how it runs on the machine, right? All right, so and I'll tell you. Okay, so I put it on my 6 needle machine. Okay, my 6 needle machine is right here right here. That's my baby. That's Boricua number 1 right there in front of you. Okay. I got Boricua number 1, Boricua 2, Boricua 3. Okay. So Boricua 1, which is the 6 needle machine, is the one that I hooped it on, and I did a trace, right? Because I always say trace it and stuff like that. I printed out the template of the logo, and I taped it onto the front of the pocket, and then I hooped it, and then I did a trace, and it went okay. So I was thinking to myself, okay, not a problem. I was like, okay, I think I can do this, right? So I do my quote and everything, and I give the customer the quote. Now I'm getting hot. Okay, I'm getting hot because it's freaking liquor, and also I'm starting to think about, oh my god, all this crap that I did. Okay, so anyway, what ended up happening was, I said, hey, I can hoop it directly. It looks like I can hoop it on the machine, and it's gonna work just fine. So I did the quote. This is mistake number 1. Okay. I have 3 machines. So I can actually, this is how I was quoting it. I can quote, it's a small stitch. Okay. It's about 9,000 stitches for the logo. It's not much. Okay. It was only going to take about 12 minutes to stitch each bag. Right. And then but that's not counting hooping time and all that kind of stuff. So then I come out and I said, all right, I can hoop 3 bags on the machine and stitch them out, and then another 3, and then another 3, and then another 3, right? 50 bags, not a problem. Okay, I got it. All right. So I give them the quote on that. Customer pays, everything's fine. They come, they deliver the 50 bags. I will tell you, I had nothing but backpacks all on the in my dining room. They had them. They bought them in their big boxes, and it had about I think there were like 7 per box or something like that. There were several boxes, right? So I was like, okay, not a problem. Okay. So I started to take out the bags out of the boxes, and I started bringing them upstairs and everything. So I hooped one. I went to hoop the second and the third. I turn around. I look at my machines. Guess what? I only had 1 spool of thread of the gray color. Just 1. And I was like, I gotta have more, right? So I'm going through all my boxes and everything. So you know what just happened? Okay. Because I only had one spool of the gray, two spools of the blue, and I have 3 machines. Okay. Guess what? I couldn't run 3 machines. I could only run one machine. So I had to use one machine for 50 bags. Wow. Didn't that just change my formula on how fast I was going to be able to get these bags done? So I thought to myself, ain't that a trip? I can't believe I did that. Okay. And I had already told the customer when I was going to have the bags done. So I could have turned around and told the customer, hey, look, I thought I had enough thread. I'm going to need more thread. I'm going to need to order the thread. And I could have waited till the thread came in, and then I could have used all 3. Didn't want to do that. Okay. Hard-headed. Being hard-headed and stuff. Didn't want to do that. Should have did that. Didn't want to do that. So I had one machine. Okay. One machine, 50 bags. So you suck it up, buttercup, hoop up one bag at a time and start popping them out. So that's what I started doing. Started popping up all the bags and hooping them up. Let me tell you, it was an all-nighter, okay? And I was like, God, I was exhausted. By the time I finished those 50 bags, I didn't want to see another backpack for anything, okay? I don't even care if somebody would have said, Jeanette, I'll pay you $1 million for you to embroider one more bag. I would have been like, no. I embroidered all of them, exhausted, okay? Rebagged every single bag, put them in the boxes and stuff like that. Emailed the customer, your order's ready for pickup. Get the usual, wow, that was fast. I was like 50 bags with one machine. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I did that. So I'm thinking, lesson learned, right? Lesson learned, not a problem. It's not a big deal. Crap happens. And when crap happens, you learn from it, you move on, right? So the customer came out and said, I'm going to have more future orders for you and stuff like that, because I'm going to need you to put the logo on jackets and some shirts and stuff in the future, right? So because she gave me the heads up, because she, the business owner said I'm going to be doing more, I was like, well, shoot, I ain't going to be doing more on now one machine, right? So right away, I got on the computer and I ordered extra spools of thread for all 3 machines, so that the next time if she shows up with her shirts, stuff like that, I was going to have all these babies purring with all 3 machines. Now, this is what happens now. A couple of days pass by, and I get a text. And the business owner comes out and says, hey, I was looking at some of the bags, and the logo on some of the bags is crooked. So I'm like, excuse me? I saw the text and I was like, what? So I was like, oh my God. So right away, I'm thinking, all right, some of the bags. She didn't say all the bags. She said some of the bags, right? So I'm thinking, okay, worst case scenario, let's say 50%. Let's do the math right now. I don't have a calculator. Shoot. I don't know. Where's my calculator? Here it is. I now started doing the math, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's $250 a bag, okay? And I'm thinking, let's say half those bags are screwed up. and I have to replace those bags. That's 25 bags at $250 a pop, right? 25 times 250. This is the cost we're talking about that I have to replace those bags. $6,250. Now, when I work on customer order items, I do tell my customers up front, if I screw up your item, I will replace it. I take the risk up front, okay? So when I got the text and I said, wait a minute. Okay, so they're crooked, right? So she was like, well, can you take the stitches out and just restitch them? The material on those backpacks, you couldn't do that. Okay. Once that hole was punctured on that fabric, it's punctured. Okay. So I was like, the only thing that I could do was increase the size of the logo, turn it into a patch, and then place it over the backpack, right? And then I was thinking, or I could do like a black patch with the logo on top of it and put it over the backpack, you know? So I was kind of like, okay, so, you know, I didn't have the number yet of how many backpacks, right? And I'm over here thinking worst scenario, okay? So I was thinking, all right, let's say it's 50. Let's say it's all 50. Well, first of all, if it's all 50, then I was like, I'm gonna have to really like pour a strong drink for my husband to let him know how we have to replace, you know, those bags. That shit would not have went well, okay? Because you're probably talking about $12,000 worth of bags. I knew when I took that order the value of those bags. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, I took that risk. She wrote back. She was like, "Oh, it's only 12." So the little pit that I had in my stomach kind of like got a little better because I was like, okay, it's 12. It's 12 bags. Okay, so let's go. Okay, 12 times 250. That's still $3,000. Okay, now the thing is, $3,000 is a lot better than $6,000 that I got to pay out of my pocket, right? That's how I'm thinking. Okay. But I was like, oh boy, now I still got to come up with that money and replace it, right? So I started going online because I already knew the brand. I knew the product number and all that kind of stuff and everything. So I started going online and I was like, how the hell can I try to get these bags, the same exact bags? Because it got to be the same exact bag. Because you got to remember, this is how I look at it, okay? This is in no way the customer's fault, okay? It's my fault, all right? They didn't hoop the bag to the machine. I did. They're not the ones that did the embroidery. I did, okay? And I'm the one that told them I would take the risk, okay? So they didn't do anything wrong, okay? So this, you know, you can't be mad, you know? But so what I did was I told them, I said, okay, I will replace those 12 bags, you know, and I'm going to tell you this, the business owner was so sweet because she was like, is there any other way we can do this? Because I don't want you to be out of pocket all that money, you know, because which I thought that was so nice and sincere, that customer. I really do. Because I was just like, I know it hurts, you know, it does hurt. But at the same time, I was like, but I don't want you to be unhappy with something, you know, because it's not right. You know what I mean? You bought a perfectly good bag to me and I screwed it up, you know? Well, anyway, what I ended up doing was I was able to go online and I was able to actually find that actual bag, and I was able to get it at a wholesale price, right? So the replacement of the bags, I was able to lower the cost from 3,000 to 2,000. Okay. So I was like, phew, it's still a lot. It's still a lot. Okay. This is a thing that I do want to share with you guys. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something. I told the customer I will order these bags to replace them. And then I told them what I will do is I will take back the bags that I embroidered wrong. And then you have the new bags, right? You know, what the hell happened to me? I don't know. I think what happened when I embroidered those bags was several things. I was running one machine, okay, and because I was in such a funk, a little funk. It's like I don't know what went through my mind. I don't. You know, I'm not perfect, okay. I screwed up. And this was a big screw up. Um, why why was I so determined to get all these bags done right then and there when I had absolutely no pressure from the customer at all? I don't even know why the hell I was going there. Okay. Seriously. What, I put the pressure on myself unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Okay. I could have took my time. I think what happened was I just wanted to get it done so fast I guess to impress the customer, which to me that was stupid, because yeah, I impressed them all right. Screwed up 12 of their bags. I kind of in a, I was like, shoot, can't believe I did that. So anyway, all in one machine. Knowing me, I probably got really tired, okay? And I just wanted to be done. I have a very strong feeling that those 12 that I messed up were probably the last ones that I worked on. Something tells me that. Okay? And I'm just like, oh, I'm it's like you can't be mad. It's like I said, it's not the customer's fault. It's my fault. It was something that I did and I had control over. That's the thing that is really, really like pissing me off. So this is the most expensive lesson I ever learned that I probably will never forget. And, this is something also that I want you guys to understand. Do not take orders if you cannot truly replace the item if something goes wrong. Seriously. Thankfully, that all the money that I've earned during embroidery and all that kind of stuff and everything, I've put it in an account, right? And I just use that money whenever I need it to pay for my son's college, right? And I did have a little reserve there. Now, it ate up all my reserve, and I did have to come out of pocket some, okay? But the thing that kind of like ticks me off is like, this was something that was in my control. And I don't know why what went through my mind. I don't know why I felt it had to get done right then and there. Now, did I have other orders besides that one? Yeah, I did. I had cocktail napkins that I had to do, and that's when I did a video on how to do the cocktail napkins. I had those. I still have more orders that are on their way to get done as well. And, and I had a lot going on. My mom was visiting at that time, right? I mean, even though my mom wasn't in the way, I mean, if anything, what all my mom did was she would stand by the embroidery machine. She would watch it because she was always at like, I don't know why, but well, I do know why, because I'm like that too. She loves watching the embroidery machines work because she just thinks it's awesome, so she would stand at the 6 needle machine. She would watch it. She wasn't touching it or anything like that. So I can't say that my mom did anything. She did not. Okay. She was just there watching me and stuff like that. And she would take a bag out of the plastic and hand it over to me. And then when I was finished and I unhooped it and I gave the bag to my mom, she would rebag it for me, But it was I was constantly one machine, hooping, unhooping, and all that kind of stuff. And and then I had my template and I would tape it on, and I thought I was taped. It could have been that I taped on a template and I didn't secure it correctly on the bag, and maybe the template shifted, and when I ran it through the machine, the it got crooked, because that's what she said. She said that on 12 of the bags, the logo was a little crooked. And the thing is, the logo was like a triangle, right? So it's not like, it's straight. So if it's crooked, you're gonna notice it, right? You're gonna notice that it's crooked. So I was just like, oh boy, I couldn't believe I did that. Couldn't believe I did that. So moving forward, yeah, I still got to reach out to her because I want to make sure that everything's, that I get this corrected and stuff like that. But she was like, Jeanette, don't worry about it. We'll find a solution or whatever, right? But and what I found really, really nice too was she did send me a text, and she said that she was really she thought it was really sweet that I was offering to replace the bags for her and stuff like that. I honestly, I do want to replace the bags because, it's the right thing to do, right? That's how I feel. Or if I can in some other way compensate or whatever, I'm sure we're going to work it out and stuff like that. But I will say this, I am very, very grateful that the customer is understanding, and that, she is, she's willing to work with me, but it really and sometimes things happen for a reason, right? And to me, I'm like, okay, well, this is really a lesson learned for me. I got to make sure that when I'm working on people's products, that I understand the value of the stuff. And but I gotta tell you, I mean, I remember one time, and I did a video when I did the golf shirts. Those golf shirts were $185 a pop, and I think I did about 20 of them. Okay, I mean, imagine if I screwed up those golf shirts. I mean, those were some really nice golf shirts. I mean, it is it's a risk. It is a true risk, and I really wanted to share that with you guys. But I got to tell you, when I got the text and it said that I messed up the bags, it's like, when you have like a pit in your stomach, like it's not like you felt like somebody punched you in your stomach, but it's kind of like you feel like a heavy thing in your stomach, like, ooh, that's how I felt. I was like, what? And I got the text when I was in the afternoon, almost at the end of the workday. I couldn't focus on anything. I kept like thinking, oh my God, how did I mess up those bags and stuff like that? Like, what, it was just I don't even remember getting on the bus to come home. And I don't even remember the bus getting on the highway to get me to my house, because I kept thinking about was I screwed up those bags, and you know how I always tell you guys, always make sure that the products that leave your shop has to be top notch, because it represents you. Okay, I always say that. How the hell did I overlook that? How the hell did I not notice that these things were crooked? I just, how did I not know that? I was, oh God. Ugh. Ooh, the thing's strong. Oh God, I was just wow. I was like, and that happened. I was gonna share this with you guys last Friday. Then I got the COVID, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, it's just I just that's some serious thing, and this is the thing that went through my mind too. Was I was like, thank God that I had the money put aside, right? Thank God, and this is the thing too, is that you're talking about the cost of the bags. It wasn't even what I charged, right? So I was like, oh boy, it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, 2 grand. 2 grand went bye-bye, or it's gonna go bye-bye. Because I'm gonna have to replace them. That's for sure. Because there's just no, you gotta do the right thing. You really do. But this is the thing. I mean, be very, very careful with your machines. Okay. When you're using third products, because when I saw that happen to my friend, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I was just like, and I saw that sweat board coming down her, and she was just like, oh my God. And I got all this stuff I got to do. And it becomes, this can be very stressful, especially when it's something that, I work full time, and my time is very, very, very limited. A lot of times some of my girlfriends get pissed off because I really can't hang out like I used to. Before we used to hit wineries left and right. It was like every Saturday, where we're going. Now they call me up and they're like, hey, Jeanette. And I'm like, Jeanette can't go nowhere. I got orders I got to pop out. Okay. And I get up super early in the morning, and then I have to get to the office. I got to work. I got to focus on that job. Okay. It's a new job, and you got to be careful when you're the new one in the office, because I always think people try to make fun of you because you don't know anything, right? So you don't know anything. And you got to be careful who's teaching you, because sometimes you don't know if they're teaching you because they want you to be successful, or they're teaching you because, I don't know, maybe they're pissed at skunk too. You don't know. So anyway, I trust nobody. So anyway, so it's you have the stress of that, of starting a new position and stuff. So I work in the office and stuff, and then I come home, and then when I come home, and I travel, so it takes about an hour and a half to get home from my job. So by the time I get home, I'm already exhausted, and then I have to change clothes, and then after I change clothes, I got to pump out my orders. And I will tell you this, a lot of my orders, I do get some online, but most of my orders are really local orders from other small business owners. And when they come here and they give me their orders to work on, oh, thank you, Marina, for the super chat. I appreciate it. When they come here with these orders as small business owners, they're not like you're the lady next door that says, hey, can you just put my initials on a little bag, or can you put my initials on a shirt or a cuff or something like that. These small business owners, they come with volumes. Okay, so like I said, like she had 50 backpacks. Okay. And then I also sometimes work with some restaurants around here, and they come here with dinner napkins. And it's not, they're not asking me to do, 5 dinner napkins or a set of 12. I mean, they come with like 200, 250. And I'm like, okay. I mean, you're talking bulk, right? So, which is the whole reason why I had to bring, had to buy Boricua number 3, because, oh, thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it. Thanks. I had to buy Boricua number 3 because, when you're doing bulk orders, the machine's occupied, right? So you got to have another machine to help pump this stuff out. And there have been lots of times when I've actually gone to my day job with like 1 or 2 hours of sleep because I have to pump out the orders. And, and the thing is, you want to make sure you're doing it right. And those backpacks were pretty tricky to hoop. I am going to tell you this up front. I mean, they were pretty tricky to hoop. And I knew that. That's the thing that pisses me off about my situation is I knew what I was taking on. Okay. I saw the price tag. I looked at the backpack. I looked at the freaking tag that was on the backpack. It said 200 and 249.99. It said it right there. Okay. So I knew how much every single backpack cost. Okay. And what went through my mind was, all right, so what if I screw 1 or 2? Okay. So I'm over here thinking, okay, so I'll be out of what? $500 or whatever. That was me thinking, okay. And then I was looking at the backpack going, these are really nice backpacks, and I could even use one of these backpacks when I go to work. I could just take my little laptop, put it in there. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Angela Stitches. Thanks, Kim Cass. I appreciate it. I mean, that's what was going through my mind. I was like, okay, so if I mess up one backpack, I'll use it for me, right? I mean, I was even thinking I could create a big patch and I'll put my initials on a big patch, and then I'll sew it on the backpack, and I could use it for work, right? And now it's 12, right? So I'm like, okay, so this is the thing. This is my brain thinking right now, okay? Well, first of all, I had to break the news to my husband and say, hey, I screwed up 12 backpacks, right? And he's kind of like, all right, so you just replace them and stuff. Now, he didn't know that these backpacks were $250, right? So I told him $250, he took a long drag of that cigar and went, and then he just looked at me and he just said, well, it is what it is. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, handle it. Do it. Do what you got to do. So, but you guys know me. You guys know Jeanette. I'm going to have a plan. And guess what my plan's going to be? All right. So this is how I'm going to fix this. Evidently, I'm going to have to get the backpacks, right? Because you got to do what's right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a patch. And I was thinking of maybe doing an American flag or something like something, nice, and make it big. Oh, thank you, Robin. Appreciate the super chat. I was thinking of making something big enough that I can sew it right over the logo that I had embroidered on the backpack. Right? Because I can't take the embroidery out. Oh, thank you, Karen. Oh, thanks, guys, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot. So, but listen to my plan, and you guys let me know if you think, oh, thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. But listen to my plan. This is what I think this is gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna get the backpacks that I messed up. I'll take a patch, do like an American flag or something, put it over I was even thinking maybe I could do military, like maybe put US Navy and stuff like that. But then I was thinking I could get in trouble if I do something like that. So I'm like, let me just do the American flag, which is something that I know, and I have a good file for it. And I'll just put that. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Appreciate it. Oh, you guys are, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I was thinking I'll sew it on top of the bag. And then when I do that, I'll try to sell it. I'll try to resell the bag with the American flag on the patch. And it'll be a brand new bag with the tags on it. Just a patch. I probably won't be able to sell it for $250. Maybe I could sell it for, I don't know, maybe $150, $175 because it's brand new with a bag. And I could tell them it retails for $200 something, but I put a patch on top of it. Maybe I can sell it, right? And maybe that'll help me recoup some of the money that I lost. that's how I'm thinking about trying to minimize my loss with that. That's what that's what I'm trying to think. Okay. But I just want you guys to know, because this stuff happens. And I remember, you guys have heard me talk about Liliana. She does Embroidery print now. And she does that. She takes products from people and she embroiders them. And she's the one that actually encouraged. She said, don't be afraid, confidence, do your thing. I'm sure that if she saw what I was doing, she would have been like, Jeanette, slow down. Why, and this is the thing. You know how when you give advice, sometimes you don't even take your own freaking advice. This is the thing. What the hell was I rushing for? Where did I have to go? Why did I have to do all 50 bags in one night? Why? Why did I do that? I could have swore that I even used to tell people, like when you're embroidering something and just because your machine goes 1,000 stitches per minute, that doesn't mean you have to hit the start button and do 1,000 stitches per minute. Okay. Because sometimes when you're embroidering, depending on the design, there are certain areas in the design that you can go full blast and you can stitch really fast. And then there's certain areas that you need to slow that machine down. And I would tell everybody, why are we rushing? Why are we rushing? So honestly, why the hell was I rushing that order? The customer wasn't putting the pressure on me. I wasn't feeling the pressure from the customer at all. This is the thing. It has nothing to do with the customer because, people always, never want to admit, wrongdoing. Okay. I see that a lot sometimes, people just want to blame someone else. But I will say one thing about me. If I screwed up, I screwed up. I even say that word. I have no problem with that. I screwed up. I did the misspelling on the brief. I didn't do the research. Hell, I didn't read the policy all the way through. I messed up. Oh, J Love, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And why the hell did I rush that order? It's like, really, Jeanette, you did that? You rushed. Why? Where were you going? Where did you have to go? I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have no plans. I was hanging out with my mom. I was like, what? Why did I do that? It's just like, duh. Like, I'm really floored at myself because I was like, okay, you missed, first of all, and it's not even, can I say it's a miscalculation? I don't even think I could say it's a miscalculation. But the thing is, it's like when I did the quote for the embroidery service, I was quoting on 3 machines running. Okay. Never did it bond me. Thank you so much, Kathy, for the super chart. Never did it come to my mind that, hey, in order for you to turn on the third and the second machine, you better make sure you have the same color thread. Duh. I was just like, I was looking at the hoops. I was like, oh, I got plenty of hoops. I got hoops. I can hoop here. I can hoop here. I can hoop here. Then I turn around and I turn on all 3 machines, put it on one machine. Then when I go to put it on the other machine, I go, oh, I got to thread the other machine. Then I find out I don't have thread. So I'm like, well, hell, if I don't have thread for the second machine, how am I going to have thread for the third? Oh, thank you, Becky, for the super chat. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. But I was like, how the hell am I going to do that? I really, really? What was I thinking? What went through my mind? I was like, what the hell? That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, I should have just informed the customer that I didn't have enough thread for the project. And I should have just went and ordered the thread that I needed so that I could go ahead and do all 3 machines at the same time with the bags. Okay. That was mistake number 2. I did not do that. So instead, I just said, suck it up, Buttercup. So now you're just going to work with one machine. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Appreciate the super chat. I mean, that's what I said. Mistake number 3. So that's what I did. Okay, so I got a whole series of mistakes over here. Okay, so you guys can learn. All right. So when you guys do your stuff, I'm telling you, rewatch this video. Okay, because let me tell you, stress. I mean, and you know how long and these bags were heavy. They were not light. So I had to use my tubular support, okay? Along with the mighty hoop, I have my tubular support. And let me show you guys what it is in case you guys don't know what it is. That's this. Okay? So I had to put this on the machine because the bag's heavy. So if the bag is heavy, it's going to put a lot of weight on the arms. It's going to drag the arms down. And I didn't want that. And I didn't want the item to slip. Okay? I don't want the bag to slip. And sometimes I wonder if that's what happened to those 12 bags. Either I did not, first of all, I sure as heck didn't hoop it right. I sure as hell didn't put the template correctly on the actual bag, even after I hooped it. And I probably, it probably slipped somehow, and it probably, the weight probably came down on the arms, and the fabric shifted on me. So, yeah, so I had, all night, every single bag, I had to take every single bag, hoop it individually, stand in front of that 6-needle machine, watch the whole thing stitch and stitch and stitch and stitch. And I'm like, what the heck? I am telling you, I was like, my bag 40, I was already like exhausted, okay? And then my mom was like, do you want me to help? And I'm like, you can't help because what's she going to help me? Help me do what, And I think for every 50 bags, all 50 bags, I think my mom was standing there just watching because she loved watching that stuff, right? Hey, Mello. So, yeah, and you best believe Mello gave me a letter of supervisory of concern. Right, Mello? Come here, Papa. Come on. You want to say hi, boo-boo? Come here. Sit. 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 Here you go, Papa. So, yeah, yes, Mello. Mello gave me a letter of supervisory of concern because he was like, there goes my bones for the week. Right? No more bones for you. No more bones. Because mommy screwed up big time. I know. I did. I screwed up big time. So, yeah, I'm like, why was I I mean, this is the thing. The customer gave me no deadline. What they asked me? He said, the owner said, if I could just have 6 bags done by Wednesday, that would be great, right? And I'm like, not a problem. I could do that. And they dropped off the bags like on a Friday, right? So I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days, right? But no, I couldn't do that, right? I couldn't just come on and say, okay, let me just do, I could have, why did I not do this? It's just, this is the thing that baffles me. There's just so many ways that I could have played this that could have avoided the situation, and I didn't, okay? It's 50 bags, okay? The only requirement was to have 6 done by Wednesday. They dropped it off the Friday before. Why didn't I just take that order and say, I'm going to do 8 bags per night? Why didn't I do that? I could have did that. 5 bags per night. Why didn't I do that? I would not have been exhausted. It would have been fine working with one machine, okay? But no, not me. I couldn't do that, right? No, I couldn't do that. I had to do all 50 within 24 hours. Really. That's what I did. So that cost me some big money right there. So guys, I don't mean to scare you guys. I really don't. And especially if you're new to doing an embroidery business, okay? You know, it is true. You have to take a risk, okay? You do, okay? I mean, you can run an embroidery business where you only embroider products that you buy, and that's fine if you want to do that, okay? But the thing is, if you really want to expand the business and you really want to grow it, you are in some areas going to have to take some type of risk, okay? And I will tell you that when I do take the risk of working on other customer orders, other items, right, that they bring to me, it is profitable when you do that. The downside is what I'm just talking to you guys about right now, is when you screw it up like I did. That is when it can really turn to hell. That's when it's like, wow, you know. But just be careful when you do that, And there's different ways that people handle this type of situation too. I have heard where some people come out and they will tell the customer, hey, I'll embroider it, but I want to be relieved of any risk. Okay. I've heard of that. Okay. I've heard where people come out and they say, hey, I I don't want to be responsible if the item goes belly up on the machine and stuff like that. And then they'll have a customer sign a waiver and all that kind of stuff. I've heard some business owners do that. The only thing with that is, this is really how I personally feel about it. Okay. First of all, it's you're asking the customer to trust you, but at the same time, you want, I don't know, how am I going to say this? Okay. If I take something from you and I embroider it and I screw it up, I would prefer to replace it for the simple fact that I'm the one that screwed it up. Okay. The customer did not take the item and put it in the machine. They're not the ones that didn't thread the machine correctly. They're not the ones that didn't hoop it correctly or anything like that. Okay. And, they're paying me top dollar for me to do exquisite work for them. Okay. So I don't like doing that. Okay. I'm not going to say, hey, I want you to pay me for my services, and I stick it in the machine. And if it doesn't come out well, I'll give you back your money, but oh well, I screwed up your item. I don't want to do that. That's just not how I want to do it. Now, does it hurt financially if you do screw up somebody's bag and you got to replace it? Hell yeah. I mean, you don't think this hurt me right now? Shit. I mean, excuse me, shoot. Yes, it did. I mean, should I put a pit in my stomach? But it's part of running a business, right? So and the thing is, when I look at the situation honestly, like I'm telling you guys today, okay? And I told you from start to finish, and I told you I made errors in this. I made a lot of errors in judgment in doing this order. There were a lot of things that I could have done different that could have given me a whole different outcome. Okay. So to me, I look at it as it's an expensive, very expensive lesson that I learned. And trust me, it'll be one that I will never forget. And I know now that as I work now on future orders, I have to make sure that I pace myself correctly. I need to make sure that I am allowing myself, the time that I need in order for me to really do a good job. I have to. Okay. There's just no way that I can just say, hey, I can take this job and I'm going to turn it around for tomorrow. I got myself my appointment book. All my orders locally are going into that appointment book. I am actually highlighting the time that I'm going to use for each order, so that way I'm not overwhelmed. And as I take new orders in, I look at that appointment book and then I come out and I say, okay, I already have orders that are already, time targeted. So I can fill your order at this time and this date. This is how long it's going to take. And then I go ahead and I just fill in that whole entire time that I need in order for me to accomplish that order. I am no longer going to rush myself, because when you do that, I don't want to hurt my brand. I really don't, because just like I have told you guys in the past, every piece of embroidery that you do is what's going to talk about you big time. I mean, it is really going to talk about you. And I think the whole reason why I want those 12 bags back is because that's going to talk about me. I don't want them out there. Okay. So if I got to replace them, I'll replace them. I don't care. I'm good with that. I mean, I want my work to be known as being top notch. Now, do I know I'm going to make mistakes I'm human? Yeah. I just screwed up now. I mean, this is a lesson learned, but it's a lesson that I got to really make sure I learn it. And it was a very expensive lesson. And, I feel a lot of times too, you'll see people, they always talk about how perfect, you know, you guys have seen, if you guys have seen even videos where I have done projects and stuff, if I screw up, I leave it there. I leave it in there because, I'm a true believer that mistakes are just as valuable as your successes, because the mistakes is what you learn from. So if you use the wrong needle, okay, and you may be pissed off because your embroidery didn't come out as great looking as you thought it should, or you may have used the wrong color thread, or whatever the case may be as to why you screwed it up. Don't worry about it. Just take that as a lesson learned, okay? That is really the best way to learn. Trust me. This mistake that I have made has cost. However, though, it has also been the most valuable lesson that I probably will ever learn running my business. And that is the importance of taking care of the order's time, making sure that I properly manage the time it takes to do that order, and even the proper planning. Because think about it, I didn't plan. I just assumed that I had the color threads in the office until I went to turn on the machines. When I went to turn on the machines, okay, and hoop the items in the machines, that's what dawned on me and said, wait a minute, Jeanette, you don't have, where's your spool of thread for the other two machines? You don't have it. So think about it. The proper planning, out the window. Okay? Which threw off the whole timing. Me rushing, what the heck? I really, to this day, and this has been a week now, okay? It's been a week. To this day, I am still trying to figure out where was I going? Why was I rushing? Why did I do that? And I think that is something that I am always going to be so upset about, because that was something that I did to me. Why did I rush? Why did I rush that order? Okay? And by rushing, okay, and working on something when you're tired, that's the worst time for you to really do embroidery, is when you're exhausted mentally and physically. You should not have those machines turned on, because embroidery is all about detail. If you don't, and if you don't have, if you're not mentally there and you're not physically there, you're not going to pay attention to all the detail. Okay. Which is making sure that you're hooping correctly, making sure that you're lining up that machine. That's probably where I screwed up. Something tells me it was the last batch that I did. Something tells me those are the ones that I screwed up because I did not take care of me, and that's, to me, is just like, really, Jeanette, something that this whole situation could have been avoided. I could very, very, what is that word? Voidable, it could have been all avoided if I had followed my own advice, did what I was supposed to do. And, it's just that the orders were coming in and I don't know if I felt overwhelmed. I don't know what the heck happened. Or maybe, half of me was like, well, Jeanette, is it that you were so exhausted that you wanted to rush it so you could get a day off? It was just, I wasn't, I don't know what the heck was going through my mind. I really don't. It was just dumb. It was really, really dumb. I just didn't, So I really wanted to share all this with you guys today because this was really the hugest mistake I've ever made in running my embroidery business. I mean, this was a whopper. I mean, like, whoa, the first time that something like this has ever happened to me. There are other times where I have embroidered on other customer items and I screwed it up, but I was always able to take like the Peggy stitch eraser and undo it and stuff like that. And then, and I know the customer was asking me, can you do that with this? And I was like, I can't do it because I know the fabric. The fabric has, it's not breathable fabric. So once you punch a hole in there, you're going to see the hole. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look tacky. It's not going to look right. It's preferable just keep it as is and stuff like that. So, I mean, it just sucks that this happened and stuff, but I do want to share it with you guys because, it's something that can definitely happen to any of us, right? And I know, and this is the thing, when you have to replace customers' items, that can be pretty expensive. That can be like super duper expensive. Okay. So, just know that up front. So when you're taking orders, right, and a customer comes to you with a shirt or something like that, make sure that you ask, how much did that shirt cost? Where did you get it? Which I've always done. I've asked, and I knew that information up front. I got to be honest with you. I took the risk. I physically took the risk. I knew what I was getting into. So there is no way that I could come out and tell people that I got caught by surprise or that I didn't know. Just no way. That's just, it's just something that, I could, So as you can see, this year, my profit for my business right now, we're in the negative. I'm in the negative right now. But I know it's going to come back up. I'll be fine. More, more business, more orders will come in. I know that. One thing for sure, I am very, very grateful that the customer was understanding about it. And she was like, it's okay. We'll work something out and stuff. So she, I mean, because she could have been like pissed, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, very expensive bag, it could have easily gone like south and stuff. And, but very, very cordial, very understanding and stuff. And I will always be grateful for that. But I'm not happy with how I screw that up, so it's just like, so anyway, guys, yeah, so that was what happened. And I think the embroidery happy hour before that, I had told you guys that I was going to have that order coming. And I remember I told you guys those bags were like $250, And I was like, oh yeah, I got an order coming in. The bags are like this much and stuff. And I've worked on so many expensive items. Like I told you, one backpack was $500. Okay. I think it was a Temo bag or something like that, some designer bag. $500 for that bag, a beautiful bag too. It's really, really beautiful. And I embroidered on that. Golf shirts, very expensive golf shirts, embroidered on that too. The Carhartt jackets for the construction company, $250 a jacket. Okay, and I did tons of those jackets. Could you imagine if I messed up those jackets? Me and my family would have had construction jackets for the next 40 years to be wearing. Okay, could you imagine that if I had messed up those jackets and stuff? Oh my God. And those jackets were like expensive, very difficult to hoop too. They were not easy at all. I even had to get clamps to help the mighty hoops. Okay, because mighty hoops are tough. But just the mighty hoops could not even clamp up on these Carhartt jackets. That's how thick they were. And I had to get clamps in order to really make sure that those jackets stayed intact in the hoop. And I had to hoop, I made like 150 of those, something like that. I made so many of those jackets. Oh my God. And they were $250 a jacket. $250. And I didn't mess up not one. Not one. And then I get these backpacks. Now, you know what's going to happen too? The next time somebody comes to me and says, hey, Jeanette, can you embroider a backpack for me? I'm going to be like, no. I might say no, I won't do that. I'm not going to do that, because then what happens is I'm going to get all like, I don't want fear. I don't want to be building fear and all that kind of stuff and everything. So, it's like, no, I mean, I just have to be careful. That's all it is. I just really, really have to be careful in how I handle backpacks. And backpacks are tricky. Let me tell you, some bags are pretty tricky, because, shirts, napkins, kitchen towels, those things are easy because those items are just flat. But when it comes to backpacks, duffel bags, golf bags, hats are pretty tricky too. Okay. Believe me, I have a customer that wants hats to be embroidered, and I am still struggling on how to get that logo right for that hat that he wants, So, there are certain items that they are difficult to hoop and embroider. I've done laptop bags. Those are pretty easy, I'm pretty good with the laptop bags and stuff, but there are things that are pretty tricky. So it's like you really have to, you just got to really, you got to take your time. I think really what messed me up was I did not make sure that I had the right supplies like I should have, and I didn't do that. And then because I didn't have the right supplies, I went down from 3 machines to 1. And what I should have did was I should have broke down that order to where it was really more manageable. Okay. But it wasn't. I didn't do that. And the thing that's frustrating is because I didn't do that, and I really don't know why the heck I didn't. That's, to me, it's the frustrating, because I know better. I should know better. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. I've had, so many customers and stuff like that. Why I didn't do it, I don't know. But I screwed up. I screwed up big time. I really did. So just wanted to share that with you guys today, because it's not a happy story. I will tell you, it really isn't. But the thing is, I don't want, I want you guys to know out there that, these mistakes happen. These mistakes really, really happen, and they can cost you big time. They really, truly can. So it's just, you got to really be mindful of that, when you're working on this stuff. So anyway, so I am going to go. Oh, I'm over here holding on to the wrong thing. I am going to go up the chat, because you guys know. All right, I did the first hour. I gave you guys the 411. I told you guys how I am doing, and all that good stuff. So now let's say hi, and I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have and stuff. Hey, Miss Max, I see Scared Wisdom. How you doing? I see Susan, Judy. How are you? And I am feeling 100% better. Yeah, I'm COVID free now, and I'm not what do they say, quarantined anymore. I had to be quarantined for 5 days and stuff, and yeah. And you know what sucked too was I got it right when my mom was still visiting me. So the weekend that I wanted to spend time with her before she left to go to Florida, that's when I got sick. So I was like, can it get any worse? But what I am going to do is I'm going to fly her back in the summertime, and I'm actually going to take a week off of work when she's here. So that way it could be like a true mother and daughter week. And I finally figured I'll take her out to have some tea, because they have some tea houses and stuff. I think she would like that. Take her to a movie, or, go to a winery. She doesn't drink wine, but I'll bring water and stuff that she drinks. And that way, she can enjoy the view. So I'm going to do like a whole week of mother and daughter and stuff. So I'm going to bring her back. So I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is, right? So, hello, Christina. How you doing? Hey, Judy. How are you? Hey, Barb. How's it going? Hey, Susan, J-Love. Let's see. Hey, Danny. How you doing? Hi, Jackie. Hey, Robin. How are you? Oh, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thanks, Eunice. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going to go back up just in case you guys have questions and stuff like that. Because you guys know I always like to answer all the questions that people have. Let's see. Hey, Kim Cass, how are you? Oh, welcome. It's my first live, huh? Welcome. Hey, Robin. Hey, Rhonda. How you doing? Hey, Jerry. How are you? Going to watch my wife. What you drinking tonight? Jerry M. Fred, is that you? I wonder if that's Fred. I don't know who Fred is. Okay, watching what you drinking tonight. Okay, you're saying my wife, so I hope you're Fred. I don't know. All right, Fred. I guess he's Jerry M today. Let's see. Walk by Faith. How are you? And it was rum and coke. I had to get a rough one today. Hey, Deborah. Yes, she ducked herself out of the snow in Virginia. It's been snowing here too, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I think it was about time we got some snow. For the last couple of years, we always everybody got snow but us, and I was just like, really, because I love the snow. I really do. I love all the seasons and stuff, and I love to look out the window and watch the snowfall. I think it's so super cool. Hey, Darlene, how you doing? Love your hair. Oh, thank you. Hey, Monka, how you doing? Or makeover. Oh, thanks, Judy. Oh, thanks, Marina. Thanks, Kim. Oh, everybody likes the new hair. You look beautiful. Oh, thank you. Hey, Jeanette. Happy Embroidery Happy Hour. Okay. Hey, Jenny. How you doing? Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Pearl. How are you? I see Allison, Eartha, Jenny, Leslie. Hey, Angela Stitches. How are you? Hey, Eunice. Freezing in PA, Pennsylvania. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Charlene. How you doing? Glad you're back. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back too. I really do enjoy these Fridays embroidery happy hour. I love sharing my my experiences, even though I gotta tell you though, this experience tonight sucked. But I wanted to share it with you guys really bad because I know it would help people and stuff, and at the same time too, sometimes, when people screw up, they're kind of like, damn, am I the only one? No, you're not. And people that have been in the business have this has happened for them with them too, that been in the business. We all make mistakes. Um, some more expensive than others. This is on the books for me. This is the most expensive mistake I've ever made. Okay. Usually it's a shirt or something like that. But this one was woola. This was big. Okay. Thankfully, I have a very supportive husband. So when I told him about the mistake, he kind of like just dragged on his cigar. He was just like, it is what it is. And he's like, we'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. So I'm pretty happy about that, that he's pretty cool about it and stuff. Hey, Sassy, how are you? Hey, Nettie, how you doing? Ah, thanks, Nettie. Hey, baby giant, how are you? Hey, Marlene. Hey, Nancy, how's it going? Hey, crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Hey, Tammy. I see Deborah, Juanita. Let's see. I'm going down the list here. Yes, and if you guys like today's video and the information I shared with you guys, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help the channel a lot. It really does. Okay, I'm gonna go down the list here. Hey, Linda Crafty Cousins, how you doing? I see Miss Banks is here. Hey, Annette. Allison, how are you? Let's see. I'm going down. Hey, Rosinette, how are you? Thank you. Everybody seems to like the hair. Everybody likes my hair. Isn't it cool? I straightened it today. And I cut a little bit of bangs. That's what I did. That's a little different. I used to have bangs before, and then I let them grow out. And I'm gonna probably, just have a little bit of bangs, not a lot like I used to, but Hey, J. Joes, how you doing? Oh, heard your problem. Could you go back on to Joanne for the thread? I could not, Deborah. Okay, and I'm gonna tell. All right, the reason why is because this is the thing. Some of the thread was from Florida. Some the light blue that I used on the logo was Florina thread. Okay, Joann's doesn't sell Florina thread. Neither does Hobby Lobby. I would have had to have gone to the sewing shop. When I actually went to start embroidering this stuff, the sewing shop had already closed. So getting another spool of that blue thread, I would have had to wait till Monday, okay, till the store opened again because they're closed on Sundays. The other thread that I was missing was the silver. And the silver was a Madeira thread. And the Madeira thread, I usually get it from All Stitch. It wasn't something that I could just order from Amazon. It wasn't, that particular color. I couldn't order it from Amazon. I can't get it from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or nothing like that. The other thing, though, is, you can't just take a blue from one company and a blue from another company, and then say, oh, it's blue on blue. The customer's not gonna know. Trust me. I don't know if you guys saw those little shorts. They're gonna know. They are gonna know because every company has their own different shades and dye for a particular color. So sometimes you can try to get as close of a match as you possibly can. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. I didn't want to chance that, because, colors, especially on company logos, is really, really, really important. And the last thing you want to do is try to switch up a color on a customer and not let them know about it. So I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So Deborah, I just looked at it as I don't want to have any type of problems with the different shades of gray or the different shades of blue, because the logo was um, white, black, blue, and gray. It was just 4 colors. I had plenty of white, I had plenty of black. It was the blue and the gray that I was like messed up on. I had 2 spools of blue, okay? But I only had 1 spool of gray. And I did look at the other grays that I had, but they were not the same type of color shade of a gray. And, it would have looked different on the stitch out. So I didn't want to chance it. I just did not want to, I didn't want to do that, because then I would have felt like I was, cheating the customer, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't want to do it. So I just said, nope, let me play it safe. Let me just, because they were very particular about the colors that they picked when we were looking at the logo and the stitch out and everything. I had to bring out my color chart, and we had lighting and everything. So they wanted to make sure that it was the perfect gray, the perfect black, white, and blue. So mixing it up with different brands, I didn't want to do that, because I knew how important the colors meant to the customer. So didn't want to do that. So yeah, Teresa, yeah, I looked on Amazon and stuff. The thread that they picked with the colors that they picked, I was gonna have to really order them. I was gonna have to go to the sewing shop and get an extra spool of blue. Okay, which that meant I would have had to take off work on Monday to get to that sewing shop, because the sewing shop is only open from 10 to 3. And I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So there was just no way that I was going to be able to make it to that shop to buy the spool of thread till the next weekend. So I already knew with the blue, I was going to be screwed for a whole week. The gray, I could probably have ordered the blue online if I wanted to. But the gray, I would have had to order it online and stuff. So yeah, it just wasn't, really that bad. Let me see. But were they really messed up? I think they were, Joe. I mean, I do take the customer's word. I don't have any reason to question them. They're very nice people. It's not, you can always tell when people are shady. You can tell the shade, okay, of people. Oh, thank you, Lynn, for the super chat. I appreciate it. You can tell when people are shady. But no, they were not. I mean, I'm sure it was probably, I think, from what was described to me, was that the logo was crooked. It was crooked on the back. So even when you held the bag up, the logo looked off. It really looked off. And she was like, you can't really, like, you would have to be kind of like, so I think I made it kind of crooked. So yeah, Joy, but no, I mean, they were pretty like screwed up and stuff. Judy went, oh my God. Okay, I see a lot of the oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, Judy, Karen, your girl messed up. Your girl messed up. Hey Shirley, how you doing? Oh my goodness. Yep. My greatest fear in making and selling. I haven't tried to sell, just too nervous. Marina, it is nerve-wracking. It really is, especially the very first order that you work on. When that very first order, you're like, oh my God. That's when you really start to think, oh God, that's when your confidence, right? You're like, Am I good enough? Am I going to screw it up? Is the machine going to get stuck? Or, am I going to run out of thread? Is the bobbin going to run out? All this is going to go through your head. What if the fabric is caught underneath the foot, or, or the machine just eats up the fabric and I have to cut it out? All that goes through there. I'm telling you, it's like, it all goes there. And like this, just start off small. That's what I did, and decide on what to embroider due to price. Yeah, Miss Banks is right. You can't, honestly, seriously though, guys, you're always going to be afraid in the beginning. It's natural. It just really is. It's natural because this is something that you love doing. That's why one of the things that I always say is practice, 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 practice. I always say that. You never want to go into the embroidery business right up the bat. Okay. I see a lot of people do that. They're like, they buy the machine, they buy the supplies, and then right away they're like, open for business. I'm open for business. I'm ready to do business. But they never practice the craft. And one of the things that I always say is embroidering is a skill. It really, truly is. Okay. It's something that you really have to practice at. You really have to learn that machine inside out. You really got to know about the different types of embroidery supplies out there, what to use, when to use, how to use it, and all that good stuff. Okay. And the 5 W's. Okay. That everybody talks about at work. What, when, why, how, and all that crap, right? You got to really understand all of that, because if you don't, what ends up happening is you can really mess up big time. So I always tell people, it's not that I want to discourage anyone. I don't. I think there is enough business out there for everybody. Honestly, there is. Okay. I really want people to succeed in this. This is a very successful business. Okay. Now, if you make mistakes like I just did, and you make them all the time, then no, that ain't gonna work for you. Okay. It's like open the doors, close the doors, open for business, out of business. That's how it would be. Okay. So, but you have to practice. And once you get your practice done and you start seeing that you can embroider better and better and better, because you start understanding the fabric, how to hoop things better, what type of stabilizer, thread, different needles, and all that kind of stuff. When all of that comes to you and you really have a thorough understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing it, you're going to end up noticing that your embroidery comes out beautiful. And when it comes out beautiful, that is when I say that now you're ready. You are ready for that first sale. And even after you've done all that practice, when you get the first sale, you're still going to get really nervous, because you're going to be like, oh my God, somebody is actually paying me to do this now. So now I really, really have to be good. But as time goes on, you believe me, things are going to get better. Now, what happened to me, I know I said earlier, somebody comes with another backpack, I'm going to be like, no. Somebody comes with a backpack, let's say this. I won't take 50. I'll be like, okay, maybe 5 or less. But if I do get a big order like that, again, okay, so there's another 50 backpacks that come this way. You best believe this girl right here is going to tell the customer, I need time, and I'm going to make sure that I take the time I need to. I got to make sure that this order is right, okay? And I will make sure that I am going to be scheduling like maybe 5 bags per day to make sure they are perfect, okay? I am not. There's just no way that I am going to say, oh yeah, I'll have them for you by tomorrow. It ain't gonna happen, okay? I'm just not gonna do that anymore, okay? So it's a lesson learned, okay, for me. But trust me, you're going to learn. So don't, being nervous and being scared in the very beginning, truly natural, okay? Truly natural. Remember, even the ones, even folks that have had embroidery businesses for years, okay, they were all nervous in the beginning when they first started. And they probably still make mistakes too. Okay. So don't ever think also that experts don't make mistakes. We screw it up. Yes, we do once in a while. I mean, I consider myself an expert. Okay. I have embroidered thousands of items for lots of people. And look what happened. I screwed up big time. Okay. Big time. But I screwed up. It happens. Okay. And it's going to happen. But just know that it's going to be okay. Just don't let the fear get to you. But the only thing that I do say is when you do take on an order, make sure you have a full understanding of the risk that you're about to take and that you can actually afford to take that risk. Because I will say, I would have got, if it was all 50 that was screwed up, I would have had to get into our family savings account and removed money from there to pay off this mistake. And yes, you best believe I would have been selling those bags like crazy to try to recoup that money and try to put as much of that money back into our savings account as I possibly could have. It would not have been a good feeling. And it's not something, and I would have felt really, really bad because, see, if I go into my business account and I lose the money from there, then it's just really just hurting my business and me, right? So I would be like, it's still gonna hurt, but I didn't hurt anybody else. But if I would have had to replace the whole 50, it would have hurt the business, but then to me, it would have also hurt my family. And to me, I was kind of like, that's not a risk that I'm willing to take anymore. It's not going to do it anymore. Hey, Karen, she said that's still a chunk. It is. It was a big chunk. It was a big chunk. It hurt. Let's see. Hey, Ozzy, love to you too. Let's see. Wash your hands. One of my 2024 resolution is not to put pressure on myself. We all do it. Yeah, I put pressure on me. Hey, Liliana, how you doing? Costly lessons for you. Okay, for those of you guys don't know, okay, this is Liliana, and this is her YouTube channel, Embroidery Now. And I had to rewatch the video. I'm so sorry. I've been there. It's a costly lesson, but you got it. Yep. Yeah, she is. And let me tell you something about Liliana. I remember once she told me I think it was a sweater that she was embroidering for a customer. And I think the sweater was 500. I could probably be telling her story wrong and stuff like that. But I remember once she mentioned a sweater and she said that she had to embroider the sweater and the machine just ate it up. It just ate up the sweater. And she was like, oh God, I screwed up this lady's sweater. So she went and she had to get another one. Very, very expensive. So I think what she did with the old one was she just did a patch and she put it over the hole and stuff like that. And then I guess she gave it to her daughter or something like that. But the customer was like, oh, God, that was such an expensive sweater. And Liliana goes, well, it's part of doing business. It's, it is what it is, But yeah, I mean, it happens, and it is a risk. It's a risk that you take, and it can be a very huge and expensive risk. So but this is the thing too, is sometimes you have to take risks, because if I tell people, okay, well, I only embroider on kitchen towels, nothing else, I will tell you, my business really wouldn't be going too well, okay? Because sometimes customers do have other items that they want to get embroidered, you know? And this is the other thing too. Um, a lot of times when I get customers that come to me and they have like bulk orders and stuff like that, like for instance, the Women's Association Club. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Like the Women's Association Club. A lot of times what I do is I don't want to get into the clothing business. Okay. First of all, there's so many different types of shirts out there, different textures, different styles, different sizes. I don't want to get into all that. So I would prefer that the customer goes out, buys the item, and then when they buy the item, they come out and they tell me, okay, where they bought it from, and then I'll go ahead and I'll embroider the item. That way I'm not ordering, I'm not, oh, it's too small, it's too large. I'm not dealing with the sizes, I'm not dealing with the color, I'm not dealing with the cut, nothing. Just tell me the shirt that you want to get embroidered. Let me get a sample of the shirt. I want to make sure, first of all, you're not going to get a shirt that's super thin, okay? So I'll tell you the type of fabric I would prefer to embroider on, depending on the type of embroidery that you want, right? And then once you tell me that, then, you go get your shirts and everything. You bring them all to me. And then what I prefer to do is just charge you for the service of the embroidery, okay? I prefer to do that. And I know that Liliana does that too in her stuff. She, because to me it's like what ends up happening is then you end up with inventory. First of all, I don't have the space, okay? My space is for machinery, and I prefer that my space be for the machinery, okay? For my machines, my hoops, my sewing, my serger. I want the space for that. I don't want the space for 200 hats, 500 shirts. No, I don't want to deal with that. Okay. I really don't. I'll give the customer the websites. This is where you can go ahead and you can order all your shirts and stuff like that. Bring the shirts over to me. I'll go ahead. I'll embroider them. This is how much it's going to cost for the embroidery service. And that's it. I'm out of the shirt business. I just don't want to do that. I just don't. But anyway, yeah, it's just how it is. So anyway, let's see. You will get a huge blessing for doing right by the customer. Yeah, and wash your hands, and that's the thing too. Okay, I feel, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes in this world, I feel like people are always trying to get over on other people, right? Just kind of like same thing like how I price my items. I like to be fair. I always say that. And that's how I am, okay? I like to price my items where I know I'm making a profit, but at the same time, I know that I am not robbing that customer. I'm giving them a fair price for the service that I'm providing, which is why I prefer to take the time to sit down with the customer, have the conversation with them, make sure that they have an understanding of what the process entails, because they're paying for this service. So I want them to understand what they're actually paying for, okay? It's only fair and it's only right. If you give me a shirt and I mess it up, to me, I know everybody does something different, okay? Some people believe in having them sign waivers and say, if I screw it up, oh well. I don't feel right doing that. It's just me. I just, I don't know. I just prefer to do the right thing by the customer. Now, this is the other thing too. Because I've even told the customer, I'll replace your bags for you. And the customer was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, I know, but I did them wrong. And if I did them wrong, why should you have bags that I didn't embroider correctly? Right. This customer is like, her reaction was, no, I don't want you to be out of pocket like that. We'll work something out, To me, Um, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, I guess the customer knowing that I'm willing to go out of the limb to make sure that I make them whole, because that's how I look at it, you know. Um, my I want that customer to feel whole. I don't want them to feel like they got taken in any kind of way or anything like that. Um, and this is the thing. I'm not going to feel taken any kind of way because it's like I bought the bags, right? Because when I replace the bags, I get the bad bags, right? The bags that I didn't embroider correctly, I get them. So they'll be in my possession, the 12. And then what I can do is then I can make patches, like I said before, and put them on top, and then I can try to resell them or whatever, right? So it's just really doing the right thing to me. That's just how I see it. Wash your hands. It's you know, do right by people. And because I look at it like this. If you do right by people and you put the positive energy out there in the universe, nothing but good things should come to you. Now, I'm not saying that you'll never have a bad day in your life, because obviously, I mean, life is life, right? You're going to have your good, you're going to have your bad. But I prefer to take a bad situation and just try to make it as positive as possible for all the parties involved. That way, it's a win-win situation, and it's going to be okay at the end of the day. I don't want I don't want any of my customers to ever feel bad. I don't want them to ever feel like I'm going to take advantage of them or I'm going to hurt them in some kind of way. Um, Now, I don't want you to think I'm a sucker either, because let me tell you, I can smell a rat. Okay, I know what a rat smells like, and and when I see that a customer is trying to take advantage of me, I am very, very blunt. Okay, even people that work with me know I'm blunt. I will call you out in a minute, and I'll be like, "Ooh, no soup for you," or "No whatever, no embroidery for you." You know, I mean, you know, so just, but to me, you know, this they were so sweet and so nice that yeah, I it's just, you know, just do right, and you'll be fine. That's just how I see it, you know. Um yeah, maybe because machine was at an angle. Well, I didn't use the other two machines, Judy. I just used that one machine. That's all I did. I used that one machine. I honestly think that when I was tired, I probably did not hoop the item correctly. I think that is what happened, honestly. I think that's what it was. Working when you're tired. I think that is exactly what happened, Judy. Um, oh, Jayla said, I was gonna say that when we are exhausted, we make mistakes. Yeah. And you pulled an all-nighter. Yeah, I did. I did, JLo. I mean, that's what I honestly I think that is what happened. And why the hell did I not take, you know, why I it's it's just stupidity. I don't know what the hell came over me. I really don't. I think you should have taken a break. That's too many bags to work by yourself, one at a time. I would have made 10 at a time with one machine. Yeah, Miss Banks, and I'm telling you, that's what I should have did. That it totally agree. That's what I should did. Why the heck did I decide to do 50 bags in one night? I have absolutely no idea why I thought that was the smart thing to do. Boy, did I learn a lot the card time. Oh my God. Hey Shane, how you doing? Give yourself some grace, but don't work when you're exhausted. I yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's bad. Hey Bart, one of the things I have is working checklist for a project. This list includes how many heads I'll be running, the space to check thread combs. You probably were overly tired, and I was. And you know what? That's a good idea about having a checklist, Barb. I definitely needed to do that, because if I had that, I probably would have been like, check, I don't have all the threads that I need to start this project today. And probably what I should have did was, because he said that he needed 6 bags by a certain day, I should have just worked on those 6 bags, had them put aside, and then I could have ordered the threads that I was missing, so that I could have then started working on the other 2 machines. And I could have had all 3 of them working. And then, even with all 3 of them working, I should have just probably did maybe 15 bags a night and stuff like that. I should not have overwhelmed myself the way I did. That was just that was I you know, I just don't have any words to say why I did what I did. I should not have done that. I just, it's big boo boo. Really big big boo boo. I'm telling you. I mean, yeah, I mean, Mello was standing there with a letter of supervisory concern. I mean, he was ready to put me on a performance plan and fire me. I'm telling you, boy. Mello was like, well, I guess I ain't getting bones for a while. You know, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, it was pretty bad and stuff. Oh, the cocktail napkins were beautiful. Oh, thanks. Well, I'll tell you what, that customer liked their order. They were happy when I showed that. Jacqueline saying, show yourself some grace. You were tired. You're still awesome. Oh, thanks, Jacqueline. Appreciate that. Would the Mighty Hoop have helped? I actually did use the Mighty Hoop on all of them. But the thing is that the bags were very, very heavy. So you gotta remember that even though Mighty Hoops click things, if something has a lot of weight, you can still have some slippage in there. Okay, so you have to really watch that. You got to make sure that you know that. And there were times also when and the flap of the bag was really thick. So there were times when I hooped it that I had to like really crunch it, to like hoop it tight. So there's a lot of things, wash your hands, that could have affected the outcome of these bags. It could have been the maybe the way that that I snapped the hoop. It could have been the way that I put it on the machine. Maybe it shifted, the fabric could have shifted. There's just so many things. So it's like, whatever, it is. Oh, Roberta, how you doing? Sorry. You'll get through this. Yeah, I will. Oh my God. Think about using the snowman with stitching large orders to make it not straight. Snowman, make that correction. That was, what, Miss Banks, that's another thing that I could have did. Didn't even think of that. Because right away I was gonna tell you, I couldn't use the snowman. I was hooking it up on the 6-needle machine, and the 6-needle machine doesn't have the snowman capability. But you know what? I had 2 10-needle machines, and those machines had the snowman capability. And I could have easily took the thread from the 6-needle, walked it over to the 10-needle machine, and used the snowman sticker, and that would have made it straight every single time. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Miss Banks called it out. I mean, there you go. I mean, I had a functionality in this machine that could have helped me with those bags, and I didn't use it. And once again, that's another thing on poor planning. I did not, that didn't even dawn on me until you just put that on there. I could have, and for those of you guys don't know what snowman is, let me show you. I have a little sticker right here. Okay, on the 10-needle machine, okay, there's a feature that's called Snowman. And it works with these little snowman stickers. Okay. Now, what do you do with these? What you do with this is you stick this on your item and you scan it. But when you stick it, you're going to stick it where how you want your item to be aligned, right? So that way, if like, let's say maybe you hoops, you measure it on your fabric and then you stick it and you go, this is how it's supposed to look. It's going to be perfect. You hoop the item and then you have the machine scan it. So what'll happen is the machine's going to scan it and it's going to look for this sticker. And then when it sees how the sticker is aligned, which is how you want your embroidery to be embroidered, what'll happen is the machine will adjust so that it embroiders exactly how the sticker is on the actual item. So it doesn't matter. I could have taken that bag and I could have hooped it crooked and it would have embroidered it perfectly if I used, like Miss Banks said, the snowman capability. Lesson learned. So, ain't that something? So I had the functionality in the machines that I could have took advantage of. Poor planning. Poor planning. And I will do a video on how this works, okay? So that you guys can see it, especially for you guys that do have a brother 10 needle machine that does have the snowman capability. I know the 6 needle machine that I have right now does not have this capability. And I don't know if the new 6 needle has the capability. I'll have to look that up and see. I don't think it does, but yeah, but I will do a video on how this works so that you guys can see it. I mean, she nailed it. This would have been a perfect way for me to have embroidered all of it, and they would have been flawless. She's right. She's right. Oh my God. Ozzy, thank you. Big hug to you too. I screwed up. Barb says, I use a template, but I do mark the tailor's chalk across for the design to mark. And I use the template too, Barb, but you know what? The template is only as good. Well, it's the same thing too with the sticker. The template and the sticker is only as good as how you place it. And I think what happened was I may have, when I put the template on the bag, I may had maybe I shifted wrong or I put it right, but when I went to hoop it, I put it wrong. I really think the snowman would have been better for this, and I didn't do too good. Thanks for sharing. Sorry this happened. Oh, we should all send Jeanette a group hug. Ah, thanks, Hansi. Yeah, and big risks brings bigger gains. You will recover from this and gain 1,000 back more. Oh, thanks. I mean, it's a learning experience. It really is. Everything, whenever you take risks, you have to. You have to. If you don't take risks, you're not going to grow. You're not going to learn. You're not going to get better. That's just how it is with anything in life, right? And taking a risk can be kind of scary because, you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're not, you're leaving an area where you're very comfortable in. For example, when you start embroidering, right? And let's say you start embroidering on dinner napkins and you've been embroidering on nothing but dinner napkins. Next thing you know, you are phenomenal at embroidering dinner napkins. And somebody comes to you and say, hey, I want you to embroider a bath towel. Right now, you're getting out of your comfort zone, right? Because you're going from a piece of fabric that you're so used to embroidering, and you're excellent in embroidering because you know exactly what to do, how to do it, what to use and all that good stuff. And now somebody's just comes and says, hey, now I have this bath towel. You're looking at the bath towel and it's thicker, it's fluffier. You have to use different stabilizer. You're probably going to use different needle. You're probably going to use topper, or you're going to want to use knockdown stitches, or you're probably going to use an embossed file. Totally different, So, but the thing is, if you don't take the risk, you're not going to learn, you're not going to get better, and you're not going to grow. And, and part of taking risks is making mistakes. And when you make mistakes, that is how you learn. So, yeah, you don't, it sucks when you make mistakes, and it really sucks when it's costly mistakes. But the thing is, if you don't make them, you're not going to get better, right? So, take the baby steps as you make changes, so that way when you're taking the risks are risks that you can afford to take. And, that if it gets screwed up, it's like, ugh, but yeah, I mean, that's, it happens, this and Becky said, and this shall pass. It will be okay. Lesson learned. You cannot work tired, as you are just as important as the machine. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, Hey, Angela Stitches. Danielle so watching. I'm so glad you made it through this ordeal. You're better. You'll get better with COVID. God bless. Thanks for sharing. Off to bed. Good night, Danielle. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Hey, Veronica. It's all right. And thank you all, everybody, for the super chats tonight. I really appreciate all you guys. Marlena said, just a little something to buy yourself a bottle of your favorite drink of choice. Giving you a big, huge hug. Learned so much from you. Oh, thank you. I gotta tell you, it was a rough lesson. It wasn't a pleasant lesson to learn, that is for sure. But I have to think of it positively and just take the value from it, and it is what it is, with it consider 12 if it don't look exactly alike. And that's one of the things that we're discussing, Deborah. We are doing that, because I did tell them that. I said, and then also, depending on how funky I put that thing on, I mean, shoot, I was so exhausted. I probably, I wouldn't be surprised went foot, So it depends on how bad it is. So, but that is something that we're gonna try to work it out. Maybe I'll do a patch and put it over there. We'll see how I'm gonna work it out and stuff. Hey, Judy, look at all the people you're helping here. Bet everyone remembers to check from now on, since this happened to you. But you know what? You got to learn from others, right? You have to. You got to learn from others and stuff. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Lillian. How you doing? Oh, Jenny, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Robin. Oh, thanks. Yes, folks, please hit that like button. If you guys liked tonight's video and stuff. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here going down. Hey, Kim Cass. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate it. Oh, let me see. If we could do $10 each, we could help her out of this gym. Oh, thanks, Karen. I appreciate that, guys. I know you guys are trying to help me out and stuff. But it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what can I do? And stuff. Oh, and thank you, Robin. I appreciate that and stuff. If you get you can sell them by putting patches, and that's what I'm gonna plan on doing, Miss Banks. That is definitely something that I'm gonna do. I was thinking about putting like the American flag over it or something like that, And then I could just probably sell them on Facebook, or, a girlfriend of mine has she does flea market or something like that. I think they're kind of closed now, but I was thinking that maybe I'll hold on to them, because if it's 12 bags, it's not bad. Maybe I'll hold on to them, and maybe I'll ask her if she can see if maybe she can sell them off of her thing, and I'll now cut her a percentage of the sale or something like that. So I'll think of something, I'm sure something will pop up, and I'll think of it, but that's something that I was thinking of doing. And I was even thinking I could give them as gifts too, I mean, I have lots of friends that are still working, and they take their laptops to work and bring them home all the time. They always use backpacks. And I'm gonna tell you, they're gorgeous bags. They were really, really nice bags. I mean, I was looking at those bags, and I was kind of like, wow, these are really nice laptop bags. And I was like, they make great gifts and stuff. But however, though, they are expensive laptop bags. So I was just like really like wow at how expensive they were. So I didn't know that people would spend that much on a bag. I was kind of like, wow. So yeah. Good hubby. It is what it is. Yeah, Carol, he took it in stride. He did. He was like, it is what it is, and I will say, my husband Fred, he isn't one that's going to get in front of the machine and do the embroidery and all that kind of stuff. It's not his thing, right? But I am going to tell you, I am very, very fortunate, because I adore this man. I am very, very fortunate, because whenever if my embroidery machine breaks down or something, he will Google that thing, and he will actually take that embroidery machine apart, and he will service it if I can't get Justin to come and fix it for me. And he helps me in other ways, and he's very, very supportive. So I'm very, very fortunate in that. And I will say, I mean, because when I saw the cost of this era, I was like thinking to myself, ooh, this is a lot of money. We're not just talking about a couple $100, right? We're talking over $1,000. We're talking about $2,000. It was really 3,000. And then when I found out that I could get the backpacks for almost like $2,000, I was kind of like, oh boy, it's still a lot. So when I told him, I thought he was going to raise his eyebrows like, Jeanette, what are you doing taking risks like that? Never said that. He just looked at me and he goes, don't worry about it, babe. It is what it is, and I was just like, really? And he's like, you took a risk, didn't work out, so big deal. It's going to happen. And I was kind of like, wow, and I will say, when I went upstairs, I said, whew, I married the right one. Because I was like, woo, I was expecting him to go, you did what? But nope, none of that, no drama, no none. He was like, it is what it is, you got this. And I was like, okay, So I was like, I'm pretty fortunate. Yeah. So I'm like, oh well, Oh, Karen, thanks so much. I appreciate guys, I really appreciate you guys trying to help me out. Rita, put this towards the bill, have a drink, and put it behind you. Don't beat yourself over it. Live, learn, right? Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Rita. Yeah, you do. You live and you learn. You live and you learn, and that's what happened. It is what it is, The elements were not on your side. You were sick. Mom was there. No thread, only one machine. And you were tired. Give yourself a break. Shit happens. It does. It happens. I mean, it is what it is, I actually got sick after that. Because I was feeling fine when I was doing those bags. I just wanted, and sometimes I wonder Could it have been that the clutter got on my nerves? Because, they brought all these bags in, right? So they all came in all these big boxes, and every box had like a whole bunch of these backpacks in it. And I had them all sitting there in the dining room downstairs. And I was bringing the bags up, a batch at a time. And I was wondering, maybe I wanted to get rid of it because I saw my house got invaded by all these boxes and I wanted to get these boxes out, But you know what? I need to get over that. And I need to just say, you know what? Just so what? The boxes are there. They're going to go away one day. They're not there forever. And I should have took my time. I should have used the snowman sticker. Okay. The functionality. I mean, I had the freaking 10. I don't know what. I don't know. The poor planning that really went through my head. It's incredible. It really was. Hey, Sylvia, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Hey, Jenny, thanks for sharing all the good, the bad, in the business. You're human, make mistakes. You'll overcome it. Yeah. It's just, I screwed up. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Overachiever Jeanette. I probably. I was like, I'm going to take on the world, Why did I do that? It's just like, should have known better. Oh, here's another idea. You could do like a donation, have your rep to prove what bags cost, donate the bags, write it off, business expense maybe. You know what, Judy? That is really not a bad idea either. You know why? You know what I'm thinking about? That I kind of like that idea because you know how in the beginning of the school year, a lot of times they're looking to, collect backpacks and stuff like that for, children that probably, parents can't afford to buy them a new book bag or something like that. And, I really like that idea where I can take the backpack, I can embroider a really nice patch on top of it, right? And I could donate it. And I could end up taking something that, it's not that it turned out bad, because it was just a mistake, but it could be a mistake that I put a patch on. And that mistake can be a blessing to a young person who wants to go to school and doesn't have a backpack. I really like that idea. You know what? I think, Judy, I think you just gave me the idea that I prefer to take that route because to me, that's another way that I can give back to help folks out there. Thank you for that. I really, you know what? I like that idea. Because what I can do is the amount of money, I buy the backpacks, right? So I have the receipt because I replaced the backpack, right? So it's $2,000. So I already have that. And then what I'll do is I'll take that receipt and then I can go find a place where they're maybe making like backpacks for kids to go back to school or something like that. And I can give them the backpack. And maybe what I'll do is I'll even donate because I have school supplies from when Cardito was young, pencils and all that kind of stuff and everything. And then maybe what I can do is those pencils that are just sitting in my basement that I'm not doing anything with, I can take that, I can fill the backpack up with the pencils, the pens, the pencil holders, the notebooks and all, and the folders and everything that I had bought when Cardito was little to go to school and everything. I can fill all those backpacks up and then I can just donate them to a school or something like that for kids that, don't have. Thank you for that. I like that idea better because that idea to me feels like I'm doing something else for, to help other people. And I that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going. Judy, thank you for that. I love that idea. I'm going to take a negative and I'm going to turn this straightly. It's not really negative because I learned from it, but it's another, I could, and it could change somebody else's life. Because think about it, the lucky young person that gets that backpack gets a brand new, beautiful backpack with a nice patch on it. And maybe what I can do is I can embroider patches that, with positive sayings on them, like bright future, the next president or something, just create these patches with these beautiful sayings, positive, beautiful sayings on them. And then I can just sew them on the backpack and stuff. And that way, yeah, I thank you for that idea. I love it. I love that. Now I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Now I'm excited. I can't wait to get the backpacks now. Oh my God. That's an awesome idea. I love that idea. Sounds like a good plan. Hope it works. You'll be able to recover some of the funds. Yeah, I actually, Arlene, I'm going to donate my backpacks. I really like that idea. I do. Kathy, thank you so much for the thing. Hey, Celia, how you doing? Check and see if the customer can give you the price they paid for. They probably got it wholesale first. Check first. Yeah, I am. I'm going to talk to them and see where they ordered it from and stuff like that before I actually order from this one place. And stuff and see. Hey, Becky, thank you so much for super chat. I appreciate it. Hey, Celia, great idea. Write it off on your taxes. Yes. And the thing is, to me, it's not just the write-off of the taxes. It's just knowing that I can take that backpack and put something positive on that and then give it to someone in need. That, to me, is the awesomeness. Sorry. I got a tickle in my throat now. Sorry. It was. And I think, to be honest, Angela Stitches, even though I may not, I may have screwed up the 12 bags. I think in a way I did still provide good customer service because I'm going to deal with it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And the customer knows that I want to make them whole. So, I think it's going to work out in the end. I'm okay with it regardless. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, Miss Banks saying it's not really easy stitching 3 bags on machines all at the same time because it's hard to wash 3 machines at one time. Yeah, and the thing is, and the thing is, these bags are heavy, right? So because the bags are heavy, I really have to watch to make sure there's no slippage in there. So it's gonna be kind of difficult and stuff. Hey, Walk by Faith, how are you? Yeah. Rita said you did it because you're a go-getter. I am. I'm telling you, it's like, but I got burned, but that's okay. But you know what? I really love, thank you, Judy, for that, because I really love it because even though I got burned, I'm kind of looking at this as I may have gotten burned, but by me getting burned, I'm really making a difference in somebody else's life. That's how I feel. And by being able to donate those backpacks, um, I don't know, to me, it was worth the burn. It really was, because I always look at the end goal. So yeah, now I'm not even upset. Honestly, I'm not even upset about the mistake, because now I'm like, wow, that mistake in the interim ended up benefiting somebody. So, or it's going to benefit someone. So now I'm excited, because now for the school year, I'm going to wait till like August, and then I'll probably reach out to a school and see if they know of an organization that I can donate the backpacks to. And then I'm going to do that. And I'm like super excited. Now I'm super excited about it. Oh my God. That's like so cool. Yeah. Oh, you had put something in there. Hey Veronica. Um, yeah, and you know what? Now, Veronica, my plan has changed, because now I want to donate them, because I feel that that's much better. Oh my God, that's like I'm excited now about that idea. It didn't even dawn on me to do that. But wash your hands. Now that you said check your screws too, all the vibration loosens them. Now that you said that, I just want you guys to know, one of the things that I did today was I took all my mighty hoops and I adjusted all of the screws. Well, not really adjusted, but made sure that all of the screws were tightened, because I had to purchase 2 more mighty hoops, because this is the thing. When you get another machine, you also have to buy the hoops for that machine. Which kind of like, remember how I said before, I was like, well, I stayed with the brand because I didn't want to have to buy new hoops. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. You got to buy new hoops anyway, because you can't take one hoop and use them on 2 machines at the same time. So I was like, what was I thinking? So anyway, so I had to buy new hoops. So I bought a 8x9, and I also bought another 5.5 by 5.5, which I should have did was buy another big hoop, but that's fine. I'm gonna have to place the order. I'll place the order later this week for that. But yeah, so anyway, I got the new hoops, and I was putting the brackets on those hoops. And I asked my husband for the rally, the screwdriver and the other wrench thing. And I said, let me go through all of my mighty hoops and make sure that all my handles are really tight and everything. And I saw some of them were kind of loose, but I think it's because I just really didn't take the time to use the proper tools to do it. I was just using my hands, and you shouldn't do that. So yeah, but those things, you should always make sure that you check to make sure all your screws for your mighty hoops or whatever hoops you're using are nice and tight and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and Miss Banks says she always uses her tubular support, and the weight of the bag will not affect using the tubular support. Yeah, I mean, I did use it, but I honestly think I mishooped it. That's what I think I did. I did not hoop that thing correctly at all. I'm like, bleh. So I'm like, oh God. Let's see. Hey Kathy, how you doing? I have wanted to do home embroidery. Without you keeping it real, I wouldn't have a clue. Hey, I'm always gonna be honest. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. That's one of the things that I tell people. So if you want somebody that's gonna sugarcoat, I'm not your girl. That's for sure. I ain't your girl, because I mean, I'm gonna tell you up front. If I screw something up, I screwed it up. I'm gonna let you know. Okay. I'm just and I don't like my videos to be perfect either. It's just not my style. It's not how I like doing things. I like to just, I videotape very raw. I'm not into the fancy gadgets and all that kind of stuff. I just use an iPhone. I recently bought a camera and I need to start using it because the whole reason why my husband bought me that camera is so that I wouldn't use all the storage on my phone. So I just like to shoot, film it just how it is. I don't do the fancy whatever. It's not my whole thing. And if I'm filming and something got screwed up while I was doing it, then I just go, whoops. Okay, well, you guys saw what I just did. Well, don't do that because you saw what happened. Screwed it up. And then I'll just keep filming and say, okay, let's try it again or whatever, because the thing is, I feel the mistakes just as valuable as when you're doing it right. Everything has value in it. It depends on how you take in the information. And even though this situation for me was pretty hurtful because it was costly, okay, right in the beginning of the calendar year, it's when all the books start at zero, right? And I'm trying to calculate and see how much money I'm going to make for 2024. To have something like this happen, it's like, whoop, okay, profits are in the negative already. So I'm like, okay, so I mean, but what are you going to do, right? It is what it is, and it happens, so you just pick yourself up, and you keep going. You got to keep going. You don't quit. I will never quit. Okay. I will make mistakes. I will mess up, but I will not quit. I'm going to keep going. I love doing what I do. I love embroidering. I love sewing. I love helping customers out, making sure that, I can create good quality products for them at a reasonable price. I like doing that. I really do. And I like the relationships that I built with my customers as well too. They're good people. They really are, Now, do you meet some shady ones along the way? Of course you do, but just to say, okay, whatever. Let somebody else handle them, The shady ones, I just go, too busy. Hey, Simone. How you doing, girl? Love how honest you are about your work. You're a hard worker. You got this, girl. Thanks, Simone. Every time I think about you, Simone, I think about that fabric you want. I really do. And so I wonder, I always wonder, what have you done with the fabric? Like, what have you made? So if you're part of the Facebook group, please post and let me know what you made, because I've always been curious, because you want some beautiful fabric at that sewing and quote show. So I always wonder what you did with that fabric. Rita said, I'm going to go have a white Russian now for you, Jeanette. Thanks, Rita. Love your hair. Thank you, Simone. I appreciate it. Hindsight. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Yes, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But you know what? Now I know. Now I know what I would have done, should have done, and could have done. That's what I say. Oh my goodness. Oh, I guess that's what Mello came by. Mello's mad at me. He mad at me because he know he ain't gonna get bones for a little while. So that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Move on, and it's going to change the outcome. You're a great teacher and boy, y'all. So human. Thanks for that. Actually, now I actually feel really good about it because I'm excited about donating the bags. I'm pretty excited about it. I think that, I love it when you can do something to make a difference in the world. I really, truly do. I don't know. I get a high off of that. I always do. And that's the whole reason why I even started this channel, right? Because if you could just help one person to do something that they want, or encourage them or help them, it's worth it. To me, it's worth it. There's enough jerks out there in the world. You don't have to be one, So I don't know. So now I feel really, really good about the situation. That was an awesome idea. And I'm going to roll with that because I think that's going to make a huge difference and stuff. And then I'm going to calculate all the money that you guys gave me on the super chat. And I'm going to use that money probably to buy more school supplies to fill out the backpacks for those kids. So now I'm like super excited. And now I'm like thinking, should I buy more backpacks? I probably won't buy the $250 backpacks. But now I'm like wondering, maybe that's something I can do every year. Like, I can probably go to a store because I know sometimes they sell backpacks for like, $20, $25 and stuff like that. I don't have to get like expensive ones. But now I'm thinking maybe that's something I should do every year. Like, and I'll start this year, with the 12. And then maybe next year, I could get more inexpensive backpacks, right? And then I could just probably donate maybe 20 backpacks and embroider something really nice on them, inspirational, and fill them up with goodies and stuff like that. And it could be something that I can donate every year. I really like that idea. So, and you know what I feel so awesome about too? I would not have gotten that idea if this situation didn't take place. And if this situation didn't take place, then you guys would not have helped me to think of that. And it makes a difference. So I'm like, that is pretty cool. So now I'm actually going to be thinking beyond like, wow, how can I take this to another level? I don't know. So now I like got my brain thinking because I'm like, this is something that can really help people. So now I'm excited. Now I'm like super excited about it. So now I got to talk to my husband. He's probably going to be like, oh God, there she goes again with another, like another one of her adventures. And I'm going to be like, no, Fred, we can make a difference. Let's make a difference. I want to, I think that would be like so super cool. So I'm going to, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to reach out. I know where I live, there's a lot of teachers and stuff like that. So I'll probably, or even go to one of the schools and talk to them and see if they know of any organizations out there and stuff like that I can reach out to donate backpacks. And that would be pretty cool. Maybe that's something that I can do. So I'm excited. Now I'm excited. I'm like super excited. It's crazy, right? Oh my God, how everything turns out. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm like so super excited, guys. I think everything always works out for the best. I just love this. Oh, so Barb says, she says, I have a waiver the customer signs when bringing garments to my shop. But with that being said, I stand behind my work and would replace the item. Yeah, I don't, and it's funny because everybody handles things different, right? So it's like, I just don't know, so it's like, I don't know and stuff. You may feel it put a bit in your stomach, but the customer will come to you and will definitely recommend you. That is true. That is true. And you know what's so funny too is with all the discussions that I'm having with this customer and everything, it's like they're still willing to use me. They still want me to embroider other items for them. So to me, that also says a lot. And it says that they trust me and they do value me and my work and my time. Even though I made that error, they seem to be okay with it. So, and that to me is valuable. That means a lot to me also, because they could easily come out and say, "Oh, screw her," like I'll never go to this lady again. She just screwed up my stuff so bad I will never use her. But they didn't do that. She's saying, that she'll she'll keep working with me. And I'm like, wow, that's, excuse me, that says a lot and stuff. So I got the hiccups. Let's see. Let's see if I can grow now. I really love that idea that you guys gave me about donating it. I think that is like such a win-win situation. I love finding solutions like that. I love it because everybody feels good. And I'm even going to tell that to the customer, because the customer was like, because she was like, oh, I don't want you to, that's a lot of money. And what would you do with all those bags? And, I remember her telling, because she was so concerned. She was like, oh, I don't want to hurt your business. You're such a, you're a small business. And, but I'm going to let her know and say, no, I don't want you to worry about that, because I have a plan, and I'm going to let her know the plan. So that way she knows that some good is going to come out of this. She's made whole, the company's made whole. And I have the knowledge of knowing that I was able to do some good, and the kids that will get those backpacks will be able to start the school year with a really nice backpack to like go out, learn, and then do great things with their lives. I think that's such a win-win situation, and I love that. I just love it. It's like a happy ending to everything, I think. I don't know, for me. Yeah. So let me see. Oh, hey Pearl. She says, I do not have a business that just retired that loves embroidery, and I learned so much from you. You should think about writing a book on an embroidery business. You're awesome. And Pearl, I probably in the book, I could just see it. It could be the first couple of chapters. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And then towards the end, don't do this, because this is where I screwed up. And if I ever did do a book, I would probably have to have a cartoon artist, because I could just see. I would love it to be like if I did something like that, I would love to have some comedy in there. Okay, so I would have to have a picture of Mello, of my dog, in there, and I would probably every time I talk about embroidery, running the mistakes of an embroidery business, I would have to have a little cartoon on there, okay, of me in front of the embroidery machine going, like. And with this situation, I'll probably be holding a wallet with a hole in it, and all the money just falling out or something, It would be hilarious if I did something like that. Oh my God. Yeah, Karen, this is what we all have to keep in mind. Thank God you didn't get hurt being exhausted and trying to rush. That's when accidents happen. Yeah. Yeah, I have never gotten my fingers, thankfully, caught under a needle. And I see, and it's funny because even experienced sewers and embroiderers and stuff, they've actually had that happen to them. So it's not like something that just, that it's a beginner thing. Okay. It's happened to people with experience and stuff. I am very loyal to those chopsticks, right? Even though sometimes I do find that myself, I go, oh, let me hold this here. And I have to remind myself, stop it and go grab those chopsticks. Things happen to all of us. It's like it's amazing. No matter how experienced you are, you're always going to have something that happens. Hey Mallory, the greatest expense would be if you did not learn from this situation. Your integrity is worth a lot to us who are new to this craft. Thank you. And yeah, and you're right. And you're right. And I kind of look at it like that too. Every mistake that you have has a valuable lesson to it. you know. But I gotta tell you though, um, even though I learned a valuable lesson, now knowing that I can take those bags and help change someone's life, and I'm not, it's not like a bag's gonna change a whole person's life, but it's gonna help their life a little better. To me, that's worth it. I'm like, now I'm excited about because I just, me personally, I love doing that. I love um I love helping other people, and stuff. And I think it's because, me personally, I started with nothing. I worked very hard my whole life, single mom, I done it, lived in a state by myself, no family, whatever. And I worked really, really hard, starting from nothing. And I've always told myself when I get to a place where I'm comfortable and I'm okay, I always want to give back. And that's one of the reasons also why I started the channel and stuff. And I just feel like this is another way I can give back, you know? And now I feel good. I really, really like it. Yeah, but it's okay. And I don't feel she should have been pissed because you stitched 38 that were stitched perfect. If she wasn't mad, she wasn't mad. She just wanted me to know that 12 of them were kind of like messed up. So I was just like, I mean, she honestly, the customer never rude, never nasty, nothing. I cannot say anything negative. Cannot say anything negative, because it was really a pleasure working with them. And it's going to be a pleasure to continue working with them. And this is the other thing too. If I embroider something, I have more respect for a customer to let me know if I screwed it up in some way, then I would prefer that than for a customer to just look at it and go, okay, and not have said anything to me. Because I would have thought, oh, I did a great job, no problem. And there, right? So if I was under that impression that I did a good job and there was no problem, then I never would have been like, well, there's nothing to improve, right? Because I did a good job, right? But knowing that they brought this to my attention really gives me the opportunity to go, oh, shoot, I screwed up. And then really, really evaluate, what did I do to screw it up? What should I have done to not have screwed it up and done it better, right? So it makes me really think about things, right? So to me, I want that honesty. I need that honesty because if people are not honest with me, I can't get better. I can't, I cannot improve. So, if you're doing embroidery as a business, you need that honesty from your customers because you don't want to go to the next customer and then screw up their bags and then the other person's bags and the other person's bags. If you do something bad and they tell you right there, you have that opportunity to correct it and do whatever changes you need to do so it doesn't happen again. So I am very, very appreciative of that. Honestly, I truly am, because that is how you get better, you know um so I'm okay with that. um Hey Denise, please consider deconstructing the bags and replace the panel with new embroidered logo. In addition, you can use the previous stitch left to create patches to use to make a small bag. I'm not gonna resew these bags, that's for sure, Vanette. I mean, these bags they have a lot, they're not a simple bag. They have a lot of pockets on them and all that kind of stuff and everything. So unsewing all those bags and resewing it, nope. Putting a patch on top of that, That'll work. Nice, simple, easy, and they're beautiful bags. So I would not destroy those bags at all. Yeah, so take responsibility, make it right. Working well with customers will eventually benefit you. Customers knowing that it will be made right is priceless. I totally agree with you, Carol. I totally agree. And that's how I feel also. You know, I mean, you just need to be honest. That's just how I feel. You know, that's just me. Let's see. Hey Sarah, how you doing? Is your mom still visiting? No, my mom is back home in Florida. She is. I have a question. Hey Jerry, what hooping station do you use with your brother hoops? I have the Hoop Master. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna turn this over so you can see. Well, I have a thing right here on it, but this is what I use. It's the Hoop Master. That is what I use. They're sold by the company My Hoops and stuff. I do have a link to that to the website in the video description below if you're interested. I bought the starter kit. The starter kit comes with the hoop and it comes with a Freestar. Comes with the 5.5 inch hoop and stuff like that. But this is the one that I use. Now there is another one that I have called a Home Edition Hoop Master, and that's this one right here. And I use this one as well. Okay. This one I use for my single needle machine. This one I use for my multi needle machine. Okay. So by the same company. When you call them, just tell them the machine that you're using, so that way they can make sure that you know, they can make sure that you're getting the equipment that fits with your machine and stuff, Jerry. So yeah. Eunice, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Chin up. You'll be able to use those backpacks for something else. You'll break even. Thanks. Let's see. Nope, new guy. Hey Jerry, welcome. Late, better than never. Having a hard time logging on. Glad to hear you're doing well. Oh, thanks, Miriam. Barbara, what machine did you get? I ended up getting another 10 needle machine. The same from the brother. I have two. Now I have two brother 1055X. And I have the 6 needle, which is a PR 670E. Yeah. Hey, Roberta. No, that would be my husband. Oh, okay. I was ready to say, because I was like, is that Fred? Because I'm like, okay. Oh, God, he's hilarious. Okay, Jerry. You're a trip. Let me see. That sounds so nice. You and your mom. I know that's fun. I miss my mama. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to hook up with her again and stuff. Oh my goodness. Roberta, you guys are funny. You cracked me up. For a minute there, I was thinking, I was like, is that my husband? Is that Fred? Because I do know that sometimes he logs in and he watches me, but I don't think he ever participated in the chat. Okay. So that's hilarious. Hey, Lynn, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. That's funny. Oh my God. Hey, Michelle. It is, from the UK. It's 2:30 in the morning. Can't sleep. Finally made a live. First live. Oh, Michelle, welcome. Welcome. I think you'll be able to sell those bags after you place the patches on. I bet you I could. But I really do like the idea of donating them because I feel like that would make a difference. And that to me is like worth $1,000,000. So I really do like that idea. So yeah. Or I could try to sell them. Whatever I don't sell, maybe donate. But I really like the idea of donating because maybe what I could do is the expensive bags, try to sell them, but then I'll go and I'll buy some more inexpensive bags. But I really would like the kids to have a really good, strong bag. Because sometimes when you buy those cheap bags, they're cheap for a reason, right? I don't want to give them a bag and then all of a sudden it like breaks on them a month after school. That would suck, Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna see what I can do and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see what I can do with that. Let's see. Did you get to keep them? I will get to keep them. Yes, I will get to keep them, Teresa. But I'll fix them up and stuff. Next time, someone can make sure they add more than one item for testing. Well, they did. They did bring me one before they bought the 49 over. They bought the one for me to look at, but I didn't embroider on it. I just looked at it, and then what I did was I just embroidered a patch. And my initial thought was just create patches for them, and then I was just going to sew the patches on them. And if you think about it, that's another thing I was thinking. If I would have actually done what I wanted to do in the first place, which was sew the patch, it probably would have been easier for me to fix because then I could have just undid the seams and then just realigned it and then just put it. But it is what it is. Whatever. It happens, right? It is. Let's see. Lynn said, bear with me, Jeanette. I'm new to chatting on YouTube. Have to figure this out. Have yet to figure out this donation. Made an error in the amount you do again. Aw. Aw, Lynn, thank you. I appreciate that. Can everyone go hit the like button? Help Jeanette out. Aw, thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. Hey, Mad Designs, how are you? Hey, Jerry. I think you have some great words of wisdom. Thanks for your time and experience. Oh, I'm new to your channel. Oh, thanks. Well, welcome, Jerry. I'm glad you like the channel and stuff. Hey, Liliana, how you doing? And then thank you so much for super chat and stuff. Yep, inventory is hard to keep. Specific sizes and it is, and that's the thing too. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, like why I really would prefer for the customers to bring the stuff because inventory can be hell. It really can, because then you got to manage it and know what size you have. And then if a customer comes in and you don't have the size, you got to order it. And then ordering ones and Tuesdays here and there can get expensive, okay, because of shipping and all that kind of stuff and everything, so a lot of times you save money when you buy them in bulk, right? That's really where the savings come, when you're buying items in bulk. So it's like, I just don't want to get in the business of having a bunch of stuff in the house. Now, I do buy a lot of the baby blankets, right? But I sell the baby blankets. I embroider them, right? So, and when I buy them, I don't buy thousands at a time, okay? I just buy like 60. And usually what I do is I buy 3 different colors, right? I get all white, the white with the pink trim, the white with the blue trim. And and I just have them at home, right? And then what I'll do is as I start, people start ordering baby blankets for me to embroider for them, I start to use my stash, right? And then when I run low on a particular color, then I'll go and I'll set another order. But I track all three. Now, those baby blankets come in all different types of colors. Okay. You can get them in all gray, you can get them all blue, you can get them all pink, whatever. So I just stick with those three basic colors. And I say either you can have all white, or you can have the white with the pink and the trim, or the white with the blue trim. That way it keeps my inventory low. And I used to keep them in my dining room up against the wall, but now I like put them really nice and neat in the basement. I have like a little corner there. So it's nice and neat. So whenever I get an order in, I could just go downstairs and I just grab one, and then I go and I order it and ship it out. But inventory can really be a pain. It really can be a pain, and it's a job in itself to keep track. Okay. People work part-time as inventory specialists. I don't want that type of job here at home. I don't want that. It's not, mm-mm. So it's just like, I don't want to do that and stuff. The real money is on the services. Totally agree. I totally agree. And you know what? And that's how I really prefer to do my embroidery business at home. With the local sales that I have, I make most of my money on the local sales because they bring the items to me, and then they tell me what they want embroidered. So I just have to calculate my digitizing costs, how much, the threading, the time, and everything. So if you think about it, all I do is I'm charging on my stabilizer, the digitizing, the time that I use. Thread, not that much, because thread's really, inexpensive. You throw in a little cost in there, but whatever. But Liliana's correct. That's where the money's at, because they're paying for my service. That's what it is, for the embroidery service. Okay. Now on my Etsy shop, where I sell products like my towels and all that kind of stuff and everything. Hey boo boo, come on. I get to oh wait, hold on, sorry. All right, hello. I gotta make room for him because he won't come in if he sees it all cluttery. Go ahead. Come on, Papa. Come on. No? All right. Okay, so he's gonna stay there and just look at me. So yeah, but I agree. The real money is on the services. I guess he wants to go night. That's how, and totally agree with her on that. Let's see. Hey boo boo. How you doing, hon? Okay, so got Mello over here. Hey Mello. Okay, boo boo. All right, so let's see. I can smell those rats too. Yeah, you know. No, it's extra mente. Okay. Let's see. Hey Sunshine, how you doing? Let's see. I agree. I think you were tired. Yep. And I was. I think it was tired, you know. Yep. And the reason I used the extra large clamps from the Home Depot. Yep. And those are the clamps that I got too. Yeah. Are you saying that the snowman? Yes, it does, Denise. The snowman, this actually helps with the alignment of the item to make sure that it's going to embroider perfectly where you want it. Yes. And it works every time. And I don't know why I didn't use it. I should have used it. I mean, I have the capability and I didn't use it. You believe that? I'm telling you. I was on a roll. I was on a roll. Oh my God, was I on a roll? I couldn't believe I did that and stuff. So let's see. Oh my goodness, look at you. I had an order for 30 blankets for New York. Embroidery. Had to make sure the embroidery was even location, even location, the same as the other blankets. What I did is mark for the location square and at cross lines. Good for you. Awesome. Congratulations on your order. Man, I know you must have been super excited. I would have been excited too. I'm excited for you. Oh my God, that's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna go down here. Yep. And that's what I was doing. I have a 6 needle. I mark it. We use my laser. Yeah, I was doing that too. But I think what happened was when I put the template on the bag, I probably, when I taped it on the bag, I wasn't being careful. I probably got so tired and I wasn't being careful watching what I was doing. Screwed up. I just screwed up, you know? What's the brand of, oh, it's, oh shoot, what is it? It's Oakley. It's OCIO, something like that. OCIO. I saw your video, Liliana. She did 5 Luna bags with the names and $150 each. And I remember you said I can't screw up not one of them. She did those bags for a hockey team. Yeah. I'm telling you, you know, it's a risk. You take a risk, but you know that going in. Now, there is one thing though, I do tell the customer, and I even told this customer even when they bought the 50 bags, if I screw up the bag, I bought it. And I tell them that. And I was very upfront and I told her that. I was honest in the beginning, you know. If I mess up your bags, I'm gonna buy them. But when I said that, I thought if I screw up 1 or 2, I didn't know I was gonna screw up 12. So I was like, well, I said, okay. So I was like, wee. So I'm like, okay. As a program manager, I find establishing a repetitive price is priceless, saves time and money. There are always exceptions, but at least, yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with that. Jeanette, make sure you check out the tax laws for donations for LLC and other setups for your business. I will do that, Rita, because I'm going to reach out to my friend. He's a tax attorney, and he usually does all my paperwork for me. And when he comes by to look at my paperwork for 2023, I'm going to tell him the idea of the donation to see how I can work that and stuff. And if he says I can't do it, I'll probably just donate them anyway, because I just like the fact that it helps to make a difference in somebody's life. So, you know, whatever, you know, I'll try to sell them then, and if it doesn't, then I'm just going to donate them, you know, because even if I can't get anything back from it, at least I know somebody's going to benefit from it at the very end. So that to me is more important, you know. I'll recoup the money. With more embroidery orders. I mean, I already have 2 customers that I have to reach out to this weekend about embroidery orders that they've reached out. I have a doctor that reached out. I do all his lab coats, you know, his doctor coats with his name and all that stuff. So he's reached out to me. He said he has more coats for me to embroider for him. So there's an order that's going to be coming this weekend. And then I do have a neighbor that has been trying to reach out to me. He reached out to me last week because he wanted me to embroider some stuff. But because I had COVID, I told him I can't do anything. I don't want to work on any products or anything like that because I'm sick right now. And I don't want to give anybody anything. So I told him I will reach out to him this weekend to get his order and stuff like that. So, you know, the orders will come in and eventually the money will be recouped. I mean, it'll happen in time. I mean, you know, stuff happens, right? Life is a roller coaster, right? You're supposed to have your ups and your downs. So, And not only that, you want a roller coaster in your life because it makes life more exciting, right? If I like the ride. Gets exciting at times and then it gets boring at others. So it's okay. Um, I have been donating to this organization for the past 6 years for youth 12 to 13. You can choose a Pacific to donate items to. Oh, she wrote down. Is that it? Firefighters and Friends to the Rescue organization in Alexandria, Virginia. Their mission is to help fill the gaps with the things the kids need most. Backpack, school supplies. Thank you, Deborah. I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my God. You can ask everyone in the group to donate one bag, and if you find a place to donate. Angie, I want to make a difference. So I'm gonna figure something out. I am gonna figure something out. Maybe we can do something as good. I don't know. Well, I'll figure something out. I really like the idea. Because I did the gift exchange, and the gift exchange was just we all create stuff to give gifts to other people that create, right? But now I'm like thinking, wouldn't it be really cool if we can do something and we can gift to people in need or something like that? So I'm really going to start looking into doing something like that because I like that. I really like that idea. You know, I like helping people. I don't know, you know. There's a lot of because to me, I just feel like, sometimes life is kind of unfair. Some people are born rich, they didn't do anything special. They just happen to be born from the right place, right? And some people just bought the right lotto ticket. Some people had opportunities just show up in front of them, to get them to where they are. And then you do have some people that, life just hasn't been great for them. I mean, the opportunities aren't there for them. um Crap happens all the time. Environment plays a lot into it, and you just never know. So I don't know. To me, I just feel like, anytime you can try to help somebody else out there, I mean, to me, I think that's awesome, you know. Um, so I would like to see what I can do. Because I remember, like, when COVID hit, I had a lot of business suits. And because I dress up a lot for work. Now I'm gonna retire in like 2 years. So now it's like I'm here. You want my brain, right? I'm here. Now, I'm not saying that I dress sloppy for work, but I'm just not doing the monkey suit thing anymore. Okay. I'm not dressed to the nines. But I do know that there's a lot of people out there that are starting out in the workforce and all that kind of stuff. There were a lot of suits. I had a lot of suits in my closet that I don't wear anymore to work and stuff. So what I did was, now that I'm close to retirement, I took a lot of my suits and I donated them to the veterans, because there are a lot of young veterans that, when they retire or they get out of the military because they're medically disabled or something like that, they have to go back into the civilian workforce. And sometimes, they need clothes, they need suits and all that kind of stuff and everything. So I just took all my suits out of the closet and I donated them to the veterans. And then what I did was I just bought plain black slacks, a couple of white shirts, nice simple blouses and stuff like that. Because to me, I'm like, as long as you look neat, professional, you're good. And I just got 2 more years left, just two. And then I'm retired, and then I can do this way full time, because that's really what I want to do. I want to do this full time and stuff. Wow, is it almost midnight? Oh my God, it's going to be really late tonight, isn't it? Oh my God, you guys are still hanging in there with me. Let's see. I truly love the idea of inspirational savings. Yeah, I like that idea too, Rita, because I feel like that would help inspire. I don't know. I just like that idea. I don't know. Um, let's see. Um, I never hooped a single thing. I float everything. um, I did buy the hoop station and all the hoops plus the 18 something more. So when I do my 10 needle up and running, I'll be all set. You're gonna love that 10 needle machine. Rita, you're gonna love your machine. I'm telling you. It really does. Um, oh, Bob. Okay, that would explain why there's so many embroidered items in thrift stores. People would write it off. Those items are always in perfect condition. So I was always curious. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That that's a good observation. That maybe, and another thing too, Bob, is that sometimes people actually go to thrift stores to buy used clothing for them to practice embroidering on. Okay, that is something that I know a lot of people do, especially in the beginning, like if you're trying to embroider on different types of shirts. Because if you go to a thrift shop, that's the perfect place to buy clothing that is really inexpensive. And then it has different types of texture, different types of fabric, and all that kind of stuff. And then with those clothes, you can practice how you would go ahead and hoop something, to put a logo on, or how would you hoop a sleeve so you can embroider the sleeve, or a collar, something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I do know that a lot of people, when you're looking to practice on different types of fabric and different types of styles of clothing and stuff like that, if you go to the thrift store, you don't really care about the size or anything like that. Or you're really just looking like, hey, look at these blazers. I would like to let me just buy blazers, $5, buy a blazer. And you could practice, how would you sew a patch on a blazer? How would you embroider on a blazer? So let's say somebody came with you with an embroidery design of a crest or something like that, right? And they want you to embroider blazers and stuff, and you practice. Or your bathrobes, another thing too. There's a lot of things you can pick up at the and even bags. You can probably even pick up bags at a thrift shop. You can pick up so many different items and stuff. Just take a look at them and go, hey, could I embroider this? And if you really think about it, okay, you can probably get a really nice item from a thrift store, take the item, take it home, embroider it, like, put like somebody's initials on it and stuff like that. You can give it to them as a gift, especially if the bag looks new. Because you'd be surprised. There are a lot of things that people sometimes donate that has tags on them, brand new stuff has tags on them that they just purchased, never used, and just wanted to get rid of it because they thought they were going to use it and they never used it, or they never sold it in a yard sale or something like that. And they'll take it to a thrift store and you can just pick it up from there. And then you'd be like, oh, this is a nice duffel bag. Take the duffel bag, put your friends or even yours initials on it. Use it as a gym bag or something like that. Um, yeah, there's so many things you can find at thrift stores and stuff. A lot of times people shy away from those places, but I gotta be honest with you, they're pretty cool places to shop because you can really look around there and you can find some really good things. You know what they say? They always say somebody's junk is another person's treasure. You know, you could end up finding a lot of treasures there. You just never know what you can find in there. Mm. Well, guys, I am going to call it the night. And I actually feel good too about it because I really like that donation idea about the bags and stuff. So I'm going to call it the night though. And I feel really good. I thought this was going to be one of those videos where I was going to be like, lost all this, but you know what? It sucks, and I'm just going to have to suck it up, you know? But now, even though it kind of started off with like, oh God, I can't believe I did that, you know? Now I'm like, you know what? Now I feel actually good. I feel like I did that. It happened. It's not exactly the greatest situation, right? Nobody would want to be in that situation, but I can really take this experience, learn a lot from it. Okay. And if you think about it, it's an experience that I got to really share with you guys. And so that way you guys can learn from it too, hopefully, you know, and really like think about it and stuff. And at the same time, if everything goes well after I talk to Emmanuel, you know, my tax attorney, and ask him about donating those bags and stuff. Even ask him if this is something that I could probably do on a regular basis annually, because I wouldn't mind doing that. You know, I mean, I won't be doing $2,000 worth of bags every year, but I wouldn't mind doing like maybe 500 or maybe 1,000. I can do on that maybe annually, depending on how sales are going. I don't mind taking some of that and giving it back to the community, you know, in a positive way. So yeah, so now I'm going to find out about that, because that looks like a really good idea, and I really do like that. Because I just really do. I don't know. I just feel like in life, once you reach a certain state, you do have a responsibility to try to make the world a better place. Or to me personally, I don't know. I mean, some people just figure, hey, I work here and that's it, you know, and that's fine, you know. But I like to give back. I really do. I feel that's important, you know, because not everybody has a fair shake in life, right? So any little thing you can do to help someone else, to me, it's a good thing to do, and it should be done. I honestly sometimes feel like people don't do enough. People know how to take, they just don't know how to give. That's just how I feel sometimes. And you know, and sometimes that little extra that you can do to help someone else, you'd be surprised how you could probably think that little gesture is nothing, but to them, it means everything. And that's really important and stuff. So guys, with that, I'm going to call it the night, because I could see my dog has already like fell asleep like on the floor in the hallway. Okay, so he's giving me that look like, screw you can talk all you want, I'm going to sleep. So it is night time. So yeah, so I feel really good. And you know, honestly guys, thank you so much, because you did kind of lift my spirits tonight, you know. I really like that idea. So I'm actually going to be going to bed smiling. You know, so I hope you guys enjoyed spending tonight with me, and I hope that you found my story and my situation interesting, and I hope you learned you know, from it, you know. So you know, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out. You know, you guys know the Facebook group and stuff, and you know, I monitor that Facebook group. I make sure that the information there stays valuable, and I try to make that group as safe as possible and stuff for everyone. So, but guys, thanks again. I really appreciate you guys spending time with me. And if you really did like tonight's embroidery happy hour, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and stuff. And if you know, you know, share the channel around if you know of other people that might be interested in some of the information that I share and stuff. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Stay safe, be happy, you know, and like Liliana put down there in the chat, have a great life, live every day to the fullest, and happy sewing and happy embroidering, everybody. So you guys take care and have a good one, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.